the tape, bro. Run the tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Run the tape, bro. 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 Run the tape.
The tape.
Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach, and the bench deep.
Right.
Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting.
Yep.
Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Found guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day. They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA. Kirby smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We doing a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro. Run the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro.
Shut up and grind.
Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro. Run the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind.
Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro. Run the tape, bro.
Shut up. The tape.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Monday evening here on the show. I'm going to say here on the studio, here inside the studio. Got a loaded one for you guys, as always, on a Monday night. The boys and I will recap everything that was Week 11 in college football. And, of course, we have a Week 12 prediction or preview show coming for you guys tonight as well. The rare Monday, boys, no news. Went a month straight of dudes getting shit canned on Sundays.
Nobody's left.
Nobody left. You're right. Nobody left to throw to the fire. It's just no news. So all we got left is ball.
Just talk ball.
We love
Strictly
ball. We love ball, and we love a no news Monday. So here we are to recap Week 11. Initial thoughts, anything before we get into actual specific games? Did you have any? I know I'm throwing throwing curveballs at you.
No,
but
I'm actually,
any like general takeaways? I mean, we spent the whole weekend together in a car.
I felt like this was one of the least chaotic weeks that we've had. Now, there was obviously some close calls.
It went relatively chalk.
Yeah, Oregon had a close call there. Indiana obviously had to muster up a fourth quarter comeback. But overall, there wasn't a lot of, oh, that's a huge upset.
I mean, the Iowa sweater was for Oregon was kind of anticipated. Everybody it was the sneaky pick of the week that wasn't so sneaky.
Right.
I think the only game that snuck up on everybody was that Penn State sweater for Indiana, which obviously we'll talk about. Jonathan, did you have any major takeaways from the weekend other than the fact that it went relatively chalk?
No, not particularly. I thought the Alabama LSU game got a little interesting. I didn't expect that one to be as close for as long as it was. I mean, that was a one possession game for a hot minute.
I will say this. I mean, we're 11 weeks into college football, and I don't think there is any bit of a clear-cut front runner for the Heisman Trophy.
No.
I mean, it's going to be three quarterbacks in New York, probably Ty Simpson, Julian Sain, and Mendoza.
You got a tight three right now.
And then have no idea. I guess maybe it'll be decided in the Big Ten championship game.
Maybe.
Between Sain and Mendoza. Who knows? Not worth talking about tonight. Let's get to work. We got a loaded one for you guys tonight. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're firing off in the chat. Make sure you're doing all that good stuff. Make sure you're changing your board from Thursday.
Oh, no.
Are you sticking
I
on
had to
eggnog
re-up
is
on this
gross?
one.
We're doubling
Eggnog
down.
is disgusting.
My mom,
Bro,
even
you
got
let this
on me.
cook for 4 days and you coming back with the eggnog is gross.
Look, my mom tried to sway me in the other direction, and so I felt the need that I
She
need
made
to
you
reiterate.
try it?
No, she just
Oh.
said that you've never had good eggnog. Apparently, I said I've had it enough times where I feel strong in my beliefs.
That's the thing about like all those types of delicacies that people are like, oh, you haven't had good such and such. No, if I just have to have some special brand of it or like some special concoction, this one time it's good. It's just bad. If majority of the time it's bad, it's just bad. You know what I mean? Like there's no, oh, you got to catch it on the right day. Nah, dog, it's just bad.
Yeah, so I wasn't lacking. I just felt like I needed to reiterate it.
Yeah, these aren't fishing lures. They're food items and drinks. You know what I mean? It's not, oh, if it's cloudy and the wind's choppy, this bait and lure might work. No. It just is or isn't with regards to things like that. Let's get into our Week 11 reactions. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing as well. On the precipice of 82,000 subscribers there. Let's start out there at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa as Oregon sweats through a win over Iowa, 18-16. Here's my thought on Iowa. And tell me if you agree or disagree here, boys. I had this take on Sunday. In the history of football, moving forward, the football gods ought to treat it as thus. If Iowa has a fourth quarter 90-plus yard scoring drive, and here's the kicker, in which a 40-yard pass play happens, they have to win the football game. They just have to. And this one didn't happen that way for them. I felt like that's not right. You know what I mean? I feel like the football gods, if Iowa happens to do that, we're sitting there watching it, and I ask you boys to say, they going 93 yards, and both of them say, absolutely not. Hell no, they're not. And they did. Mm-hmm. They should win that football game. They didn't. That's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, I thought that was the more impressive part was the fact that Iowa actually manufactured a drive in clutch time to put themselves up. I mean, had you got the 2-point conversion, it would have been a 10 out of 10 incompletion of that drive. But you didn't, and that ultimately ended up costing you the game. But, I mean, in the closing minutes of that, Dante Moore and that offense had to step up on their own. Dante Moore probably throws the best ball of the entire day for him on that final drive. I mean, they earned the right to get in a field goal position there, and they made the kick.
Yeah, I think that was that's the definition of a heartbreaking loss for Iowa, where you played the game where you had to. We all came into that game saying that if Iowa's going to win this game, they're going to muck it up. They're going to do a lot to make this a low-scoring fourth quarter affair, which is exactly what they did. The rain helped them tremendously, and they just could not come through in the finish.
I mean, there was no better circumstance for an Iowa Hawkeye win there, and they just couldn't get off the field late in that 2-minute drive. You're right. That ball to Malik Benson was the best football that Dante Moore has probably ever thrown, considering the circumstances.
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, there's no way the receiver drops or doesn't catch that ball. That ball caught him. It was so well thrown.
Did you see speaking of the conditions of that game and the weather, did you see the quote about Dan Lanning and why he chooses not to wear rain gear? He said,
I want to be in it with my boys.
Yeah, he wants to be in the battle with his guys.
I mean, Coach, we can be in the battle and not get, hypothermia.
He's wearing a cotton sweatshirt, just freezing
Just
cold
out
rain.
there.
He's like, that's what they got to play, and I want to be in it
You know
too.
what would suck? You know what really sucks about that? Going into the half and coming back out.
Oh yeah.
You know? That's probably the only time it sucks. Does he get a wardrobe change? Does he put a dry sweatshirt on and then come back out and get rained on again?
I don't know.
Because if so, I mean, probably not that bad.
I will say that I always personally felt like when you have all the pads on and the jersey and the helmet, like you don't feel the rain as much as you would if you're just standing out there in street clothes.
Oh, no.
Like
not at all.
he's in it more argument now. He's not playing a football game, but
I got to thinking about this randomly today because I was giving Jeremy Johnson hell at the press conference for wearing gloves. It's like 42 degrees. I was talking about, what are you doing wearing gloves? I don't know how I would do with the cold ears in the winter and calling plays and have, you know what I mean? Like, in the elements. I think I would be like double hooded up. You wouldn't see me. I'd be over there ducked off. I wouldn't be like Dan. I'd be a pansy, you know? I'd be a pansy football coach. I always thought this was bull crap in offensive line culture as well, where they're like, oh, you can't wear sleeves. I'm like, bullshit, I'm going to wear sleeves. If you don't, unless that is the offensive line coach telling me that, I'm wearing sleeves because it's cold out here and it hurts. So, anyways, Any other thoughts on the game?
I mean, just like in a total recap for Oregon, I mean, a must-win situation. Like we said, we didn't think that Oregon was probably in a position, considering where they were in the college football playoff rankings last week, to where they could afford a second loss and still be a lock for the college football playoff, considering
they're
what
a
their
must-win
schedule.
out.
Yeah, they're a must-win out. So got a big win this weekend. Not going to face a ranked opponent against Washington, consider what happened to them this past weekend, which, by the way, one of the crazier stat lines I have ever seen for Wisconsin to beat Washington and the place kicker be the leading passer in that game. 1 of 1 for 23 yards. That was the leading passer for the Badgers en route to a victory over Washington. Luke Fickell rightfully defended his extension out there. So, or his
Wisconsin football is so back, dude.
Yeah,
Wisconsin football is so back.
We'll see what happens against Washington. But yeah, got to win out for Oregon.
A win like that for Wisconsin really makes you want to fire the guy for being an air raid football team for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, come on, dude. It was right there for you the whole time. 13-10, 24 yards passing from your punter. It was right there for you, buddy. I'm good on that one. How about this Indiana escape up there at Penn State in college, or not College Station. What's that? Penn State State College?
Happy Valley.
That's Happy Valley. Where's State College? That's Penn State. That's what they call State College, right?
Maybe.
I'm going to hit a Google. Thoughts on this football game?
You talked about the Iowa-Oregon game being a heartbreaker. I thought this was the bigger heartbreaker because Oregon, Iowa knew that they were going to have to stop Oregon, and no different than Penn State knew they were going to have to stop Indiana. But how it happened for Penn State, like the play that was made, like 1 of 1 type of plays, like probably catch of the year, play of the year type thing.
That, and I would love to track the history. If I had a football AI, he would run this stat down. How many times have you successfully won a game in a 2-minute drill where you needed a touchdown, in which on the first play you took a 16-yard sack?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
How in the shit do you give that one up? How do you give up a 2-minute drive, clock's ticking under 90 seconds, it's 2nd and 20, and you about to give up 90 yards? That was the craziest thing to me, because we've listened to 2-minute specialists for years say the most important thing is that first down, and you can't take a negative. In any 2-minute drill, you cannot take a negative, and they start the drive with a negative and ultimately go down and score. You're right. It was heartbreaking fashion. But I spoke all week on not having Surratt. I talked about how it was a big deal. And all they did was dust off my man Charlie Becker. Did y'all know about Charlie Becker before this weekend? Nobody did.
No.
Charlie Becker had 7 receptions going into the weekend. He had 7 receptions in this football game, to which I want to run another theory by you, especially you. You're my real football, test my football theory guy on this channel. I think Mendoza is a primary read merchant.
Yeah.
I think Fernando Mendoza lived in an RPO, RPO shtick heavy Cal offense. You studied it really heavily. RPO galore. This Indiana offense, real tendency leaned on RPO as well. I mean, if you check their reception numbers this year, I bet Surratt's got 65% of the receptions. I'm just saying, heavy RPO tendencies, obvious one primary read target guy. Your Oakland Raiders are probably going to draft a quarterback this year. If they're scouting this kid, what do you feel about that?
I don't hate that. I think that what impressed me most about Mendoza in this game, and honestly I felt like it's what kept Penn State in it so well, was his ability to create on the run and the pass rush. They were getting after him all game long and moving him off the spot a lot of times. And I feel like that's where he honestly shined the most for me, being creative with his legs. So
look, tremendous athlete, or at least a really, really good athlete. I think Joe Burrow is the bar nowadays. Like, if you're not as good of an athlete as Joe Burrow, you will not survive at the position, literally. Like, you'll get hit so hard and hit so often that you probably won't play it very long. He's a good enough athlete. He spins it really, really well. I just think there are some things that and maybe it's just, maybe he will do them. He's not asked to do them kind of situation here.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows I love the throwing mechanics. I was about to say I love the stroke. I mean, I love the way the ball comes out of his hand. He definitely can spin it.
I mean, other than a really bad throw and a deep out, he had a really impressive game. I know that people were saying that he didn't play that well, but I thought the tape said otherwise. I thought he created when he needed to. He played within the system when he needed to. Yeah, I mean, you're a first read merchant, I guess. But if the first read's always there, is that not the right answer? I mean, that's
for sure.
Maybe Cignetti's that damn good. Maybe Cignetti is a primary target savant. Maybe Cignetti for this entire year has just gotten this dude dialed.
Yeah.
Curtis Rourke, probably I could have said the same thing about him.
Oh yeah, but
know?
that's what I was going to point out is it does seem like there has been situations with this offense where if they do face a competent defense and a defense that has good enough athletes in the secondary that can defend the pass, they do get into some trouble. I mean, it happened to them against Notre Dame in the playoff last year with Curtis Rourke. Now it happened in this game against Penn State.
This is also the first team to kind of box their run game too, or at least make it inefficient. And I think that's the thing that I'm noticing more and more and more and more the more I cover college football is that offensive coordinators, and I don't know if this is an analytic thing, and we're going to talk about this a lot with Bama, but if you go through the first quarter, first 3 or 4 drives, first 5 or 6 drives, and you can't run the football efficiently, so many coordinators nowadays are just abandoning the run. They would rather 5-yard hitch their way down the field than run the ball for 2 yards and end up in 2nd and 8.
right.
They'd rather live in 2nd and 5 because they 5-yard hitched their way into it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I like Bama's this way. I feel like they're this way sometimes where it's just like we can't run the ball, so let's just lean on the pass.
I mean, that's what Georgia did last year.
I know.
That's what they turned into.
I know. And it's not – I don't think it's a successful formula, but neither is – I feel like eventually – like some teams just stay committed to the run and eventually the dam breaks though, you know? Like Michigan's this way. Michigan's like, so what? We ran it 12 for 24 in the first half. Carries 15 through 26 might bust us for 200 yards total today.
Right. I mean, in those offenses that you're talking about where they'll just abandon the run rather quickly, and that's fine. Like it works out most of the time, but then you just you put yourself available to having a bad day with your quarterback, and then you're really in trouble with your offense. But that's to say for any offense, like if you can't run the ball and the quarterback's having a rough day, not much offense is going to be happening.
Absolutely. Speaking of 2 offenses that cannot run the football, Alabama and LSU played this weekend.
Watching that LSU offense for 4 quarters might have been
watch.
the biggest waste of time in my entire life.
That's one of the worst coached football teams that has a lot of talent that I've seen in a long time. Like just the sheer inability to make plays happen.
How many damn screens did they throw?
A lot.
Saturday?
A bunch.
Too
And
many.
I'm not talking about like extension of the run game screens. I'm talking about like full offensive line release into the short side of the field out of the same set to no avail 8 times,
Yeah.
9 times before they pulled their quarterback inexplicably.
I mean, they're one of those offenses that when you're watching them, like one of those drives where Van Buren makes 2 tight window throws, like probably the 2 biggest passing plays that they've had the entire game. And yet I'm still sitting there thinking, well, something's going to happen and this offense is going to sputter out. There's no way that this offense is going to get into the end zone. And sure enough, penalty, they sputter out, they have to kick a field goal, and they couldn't get anything moving.
Dude,
I was almost the opposite way on that, and where I was like, there's no way they can't at least muster up some points on this drive, and every single time I was like, oh, they're out of field goal range or they're settling for a field goal now. It's
the operation as a whole offensively from snap 1 to the final whistle was absolute poop.
horrible.
Seemed like most guys didn't really know what they were doing. You know who was the most frustrated? McElroy. Listening to McElroy call that game, the amount of times he wanted them to ISO Trades Green, I thought he was going to have an aneurysm up there like I just had. Like he just calling every time. It's like, this should happen, never happen. And I was with him every single time. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Nope.
Yeah, when you're at that point offensively where everything feels like a struggle, it does seem like you get to a point of, well, let's just get our best athlete one-on-one potentially, and we'll try and take advantage of that. Like maybe somebody can finally make a play instead of relying on all 11 guys to make a play so we can pick up 8 yards here for a first down.
And I was going to say, like, and I think that reading what they had to say on Twitter and kind of the internet on this, Bama fans are not happy about that win. They honestly shouldn't be. Like the fact that was a winnable game or a game that they had the possibility to be in until the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, like that was a very sloppy victory in Tuscaloosa. Now they won it. You had the win in that game. That's very, very good for you, and it doesn't show up on the, this is bad. But that's 2 performances in a row for Alabama where it's kind of like, There's a lot to be desired here.
Well, I think all year long they have shown a consistent flaw.
Yes.
They cannot run the football, and they cannot protect their quarterback consistently. That's a bad combination.
Not a good one.
That is a combination that will have you sputtering quite often. And they take a lot of negative penalties.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, they're in a ton of 2nd and 20s quite often. And you shouldn't. That's not how offense is ever going to be. I honestly believe if they didn't have the chunk play creator that is their quarterback, I have no idea where they'd be right now. Because the amount of times he rescues them out of 2nd and 20s is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, with him at quarterback, there's almost really not a situation where you feel like Alabama's offense is in a situation where it's like, oh, automatic punt. They're not getting out of this one. I mean, 3rd and 15, 2nd and 20, 1st and 25, like whatever you want to call it. I mean, that guy does such a good job of keeping them in front of the sticks. He didn't have his best game on Saturday against LSU. He did enough and moved the chains enough for them in some situations where it allowed them to move out of there with a win.
How much of an absolute pissant must Garrett Nussmeier be to have pulled him on Saturday night?
Well, I have a theory on that. I think that they realized, hey, we have absolutely no ability to protect our quarterback, and the quarterback we have in right now can't really run. Let's put in the Michael Van Buren guy and see if, 1, we can get a spark on offense, and 2, we can mitigate some of the fact that we've got holes on the offensive line everywhere. I didn't really feel like it was this is a FU to Garrett Nussmeier, we don't like you. I thought it was more of the offense isn't working right now, and we need something to change.
I'm of the belief that in game 10 of my final year as a starting quarterback, in the year that I came back after being draft eligible and leading the league in passing, you pulling me is a middle finger FU to me, no matter the situation. And based off his emotions on the sideline, it felt that way for him.
He definitely took it that way, but I mean, you could take that as, I would feel like if I took my team to a national championship, won an SEC championship, you pulling me halfway through a national championship game for a freshman would be an FU to me. But Jalen Hurts didn't take it as that. So I think it's one of those circumstantial things where, hey, we have not reached the end zone. We need a spark on offense. Let's put in another guy and try to get something going here. We've seen that all the time in football. I don't know if that was necessarily hey, you know what? We don't like this Garrett Nussmeier guy. Let's just bench him now.
I would agree with you, but I think that comparing it to a postseason standpoint is a little different our season is on the line. Like, I helped us get here. If this is what we think is better for the team to move forward, get a national title, get a ring, okay, I'm here for it. When our season is over, and yeah, maybe Garrett Nussmeier might be some blame for that, but for a guy that has poured it out for that program, has taken a bunch of hits in that pocket, I think he's earned the right to try and finish that game and try and knock off Alabama himself. But I get it. Like, I had the same thought you did of, well, Van Buren definitely brings some mobility in the pocket for them. So maybe he can move some things around for them. Maybe it's one of those situations. But, I mean, it is 2 games in a row where Garrett Nussmeier has been pulled from the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying that LSU team is not cohesive at all.
I don't think I'll ever miss the opportunity to defend the guy that sat around and waited his opportunity to play, and then I feel like was done wrong. I feel like he's been done wrong all year. I feel like the whole entire situation around him was absolute crap. There was no way anybody was going to win and play at a really, really high rate at the quarterback position in that spot. And again, like, this was a kid who had a very draftable grade last year.
Oh, yeah.
I know for a fact, you know one of them, an NFL OC that loves this guy. And this has gone absolutely terrible, as awful as it could possibly go. And y'all shit on that kid inside the Bryant-Denny Stadium in his last opportunity. That's how I feel about it. So that's the type of stuff that I feel as if those players in this era of college football should be revered at their programs for eternity.
Yeah.
When they choose to do what that kid did, those kids should be revered by their fan base, not called some of the things that I saw on social media from LSU fans. That's just me.
No, I agree with you. And, you know, it very well could be, like, pointed towards that it's an interim coach. That guy feels like he's coaching for his next job, and he's trying to win that game just as much as anybody. And if that's what he felt like was the best situation for that offense to put Van Buren in, like, I can understand it from that perspective. But I'm with you. I'm completely with you. I would have rather seen Nussmeier finish out that game. I feel like he deserved the right to do that.
All right, let's move on. I'm with you, though, Kirby, from your initial statement. I feel like Alabama slopped their way through another SEC win. Granted, they won the football game.
Yeah, no, I mean,
they keep doing that. But that's the way I led off with it on Sunday's show. It's just like, y'all Y'all keep showing these consistent flaws. We had a film study on it. We'll talk about that later in our preview for Oklahoma because
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
buddy,
It's not a good thing to see before that opponent.
That ain't the one.
No.
That ain't the defense to be up here one-dimensionalizing yourself against before you go play them. Texas A&M continues to dominate, so let's put you on the stand, Kirby. You a believer yet?
A believer in what? I think they're a really good football team. I've never denied that Texas A&M looks good this year. They look great. I've said, and my stance has always been, until they reach the college football playoff, I'm not going to declare them a playoff team. Until they come out and prove us wrong, because we've seen time and time in the month of November them stumble and fall. Now, they've made it further than they ever have, but until they prove me wrong in that regard, I'm going to keep saying that I'm not buying or not going to declare them a college football playoff team until
Can I sarcastically, because I believe they're a playoff team. They already are. I believe they're legit. I believe their offense, their complementary football, they do a lot of championship stuff. Like, if you really watch them play football this year, they're great on special teams, and I don't even care about special teams. They're great in the explosives departments. They're great in the running game. They're great on defense. They're great in the havoc rates. Like, they're great in everything that requires you to win football games. Now, let me poo-poo on this resume right quick. Guys, they barely didn't dominate UTSA. They didn't dominate Utah State. That Notre Dame game, if they played again today, I mean, C.J. Carr looks a whole hell of a lot better than he did week 3 of college football.
You could make the argument they lost that game.
Let me cook. Oh, yeah, the hold. Like, we could really poke a hole in all this. Auburn's offense is absolute crap. Mississippi State, like, they look a little bit better, but they're not any decent. Florida at the time, come on. Arkansas, not very good. LSU, when you got them, absolute crap. Missouri, when you got them, their backup quarterback.
A third-string quarterback.
A third-string quarterback. Like, if I really wanted to do it, I could do it. And it needs to be done tonight because tomorrow they're going to be up there on the ESPN thing doing is this the number 2 ranked team in the country? Hell, I've seen arguments saying they're the number 1 team in the country. I think they're great. I think they're the best team in the conference. I talked about that on Sunday. I also think there is a real devil's advocate to sit here and poke holes in this entire resume. So let's be careful.
Oh, absolutely. But, I mean, you could do the same thing for the team that's ranked number 1 in the country right now. So as much as we – like,
yeah,
I was
that eye test on that one. Wow.
I mean, eye test with
that's
this
what they're
offense.
Doing with them.
So.
Yeah, eye test with this A&M offense for sure.
And it's just like it's the same story for both of these, for both Ohio State and Texas A&M, where we're going to find out about Texas A&M when they go on the road against Texas in a massive rivalry matchup, and you're going to get a good litmus test for this team heading into the postseason as long as they don't have a mishap against South Carolina and Samford, which I don't believe that they will. So it's just one of those things like we feel like we know about them, but we probably won't truly know until they play in an SEC championship game and then they go into postseason.
Which is why I've said this entire time I'm not declaring them a playoff team. I'm not going to say that they are because we've seen time and time again where they stumble. They very well could go 12-0. They're more than capable of it, but we will see.
Even if they do win the SEC championship,
no,
that first round of the playoff, he's like, see? As soon as they lose, he's like, see?
I
told you it was going to happen.
No, the second that the final college football playoff rankings come and there's a Texas A&M there, if that happens, I'll say they did it. They proved me wrong. It's the same of Georgia beating Alabama. It's the same of consistency happening with this. Like, if history states that this does not happen, until then, I'm going to go side with history.
That's fair.
I think all three of us said the same thing when we were watching this game on the drive home of that score ended 38-17, but that felt 52-7.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It never felt like Missouri even had a freaking chance.
Not a prayer. Not a prayer. If you listen to Eli Drinkowitz's postgame, Mike Elko ran circles around that dude. I mean, circles around him.
Yeah.
I think Drinkowitz is bordering too honest and too – every answer ends with – and that's like or begins with, it's on me. I'm a bad football coach. I've got to be better. Excuse. You know what I mean?
It's worth mentioning, too, like when you talk about like this coaching carousel, and Drinkowitz and Kiffin have been the 2 hottest names in the SEC as far as guys that could potentially move somewhere else. Drinkowitz, as of late, surely has had a lot more moments of, ooh, maybe I'm not at a program that we can do this. But Kiffin has had a whole lot more moments of, oh, I can do it here. This is a place where I can certainly go and be a title contender. I mean, Drinkowitz hasn't won a game against a conference opponent with a winning conference record in 3 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Drinkowitz hasn't beaten a ranked opponent since being at Missouri, I believe, is what I saw.
other than the bowl game against Ohio State, right?
Yeah, in the regular season or something. No ranked conference wins or something like that.
Yeah, I believe it.
I think that was he got asked about this post game. It's like, Coach, you haven't beaten a ranked conference opponent. And his response was essentially he kind of sucked his teeth and was like, hard to win these games.
Lane Kiffin certainly is the exception to this trend, but I feel like we've kind of seen this year where the guy that gets anointed, he's the top candidate for this job, immediately starts sucking.
Oh, it was a bad year for that.
We saw it with Matt Rule for Penn State. I think John Summerall for a while was kind of penciled in as one of those two jobs. Immediately dropped one.
Boy, the moment they started mentioning Matt Campbell's ass,
yeah, exactly. Like,
down go my Cyclones.
Like Eli Drinkwitz was the favorite for Florida. Obviously, we see what's going on with that team right now. So, kind of an interesting thing going on where if this coach is like, oh, this is the ideal candidate for this, their team.
Summerall took an L the week he was mentioned for the LSU
Sure
job.
did.
This is a good little crackpot theory going on.
I need to flesh it out more, but it's certainly something to pay attention to.
Absolutely. Golly, Texas Tech dominated BYU.
Yeah, you couldn't do this, BYU. I told you, this was the one thing you couldn't do. You couldn't let this one be a blowout.
Dude, they beat them, 29-7?
Yeah.
And I think they settled for 5 field goals.
Yeah, I mean, BYU.
This game very easily – if Texas Tech had any type of red zone offense in this football game, they probably would have scored 50.
And, I gave the take on Thursday's show during Final Thoughts that whoever won this game I felt like was going to blow the other one out. And I said Texas Tech would do it if their pace ended up getting BYU. I didn't feel like that's what happened in this game. I felt like Texas Tech did a better job of doing what BYU does typically.
Damn defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was just we're going to expose the fact that you don't have the athletes we do type of game. Like from now, BYU had some moments in there. They got after the quarterback a good bit. They had some good, defensive secondary plays, had some big offensive explosions. But it was very obvious they did not have the horses to consistently go with Texas Tech for 4 quarters. And now, like, retrospect, when you look at it, this is not a playoff team. I think BYU completely folded their chance and got exposed. Their best win is over Utah, 24-21 victory. That's aging well. I guess their Iowa State victory is also good, but I mean it's a whole lot of beat Stanford, barely beat Colorado, beat West Virginia, had to go to overtime with Arizona. Like this schedule does not match up for them.
No, that's why you couldn't let this happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, 3 turnovers, 3 of 14 on third down, 67 rushing yards while playing on the road. That'll lose you that game.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Texas Tech has played 2 really, really good rushing teams, Utah and BYU, and just
stuffed them.
Boxed the lights out of both of them. I mean, absolutely boxed the lights out of both of them. By the way, we do pay attention to Super Chubs. We'll get all those at the end of each collective hour. So thanks to Rick. I see you in there. That's twice now. I don't want you to think you're being ignored. We just got jam-packed shows, and we got to get to the end of them before we start paying attention to our Super Chubs. Yeah, I mean, it was absolute dominating fashion out there. I do want to talk about this Joey McGuire clip. Did y'all see this?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you have this ready for the audience? Play this for the audience. This is Joey McGuire after his football game, giving compliments to BYU about joining a conference. They were formerly independent, I think, previous to 2 years ago.
I believe so.
It's their second year in the Big 12.
I have so much respect for BYU. I do, man. They're I was really excited whenever they joined the Big 12 because I think that they carry a lot of weight and a lot of respect. I think that I have a lot of respect for them entering a conference and not playing an independent schedule like other people. Y'all already know who that is. And so I have a lot of respect for that. I mean, they're earning their right just like everybody but a couple of people in the nation are earning their right through conference play, and playing in some really tough.
All right, now, as someone who has eviscerated Notre Dame for their holier-than-thou, pun intended, elitism, being out of conferences, as much as I love the take, I really, really do not like the messenger. Obviously, that is a shot at Notre Dame for not being in a conference. That take can come from any coach in the Big Ten, any coach in the SEC, It cannot come from a coach in the Big 12 with a strength of schedule that is 38th in the country right about now. By the way, that is 18 spots below Notre Dame, the team in which he is trying to shit on right about now. In fact, I looked it up today. Notre Dame's strength of schedule is tougher than all but 3 Big 12 football teams. You can't do this. You can't come out here and say this stuff. All right? Everybody else can. You probably shouldn't be the one to do this, all right? With all due respect, leave the your path is easy talk for somebody in a tough conference, all right? And honestly, all these conferences are so daggum watered down, really only the SEC can do this. I don't think the Big Ten can do this consistently. The Big Ten's got some teams that have really, really tough slates, and then some teams that don't. That's because they have an 18-team conference that only has 6 football programs and 12 programs that are masquerading as football programs. That's it. It's very, very weird, the sport we're in right now. It's very, very weird how we have 10, really, really highly invested competitive SEC teams in a 16-team conference that leads to, look at the strength of schedule numbers of all the top 20 teams. All 16 SEC member schools are right there firmly atop the strength of schedule rankings. And then everyone else is just kind of luck of the draw. We got a tough slate, and that's about it. It's a very, very weird sport that we play right now and that we cover.
Yeah, and I think that it illustrates, and I don't even want to get into the Big Ten versus SEC thing. I think we can all agree that those are the 2 best conferences.
We've hammered, and there's even a separation there. I think there's really, really good teams at the top of the Big Ten, but the depth is not. It's not even a discussion. It's not even close.
I'm lumping them together for this purpose alone because the Power 4 is dead. You look around in the ACC, and we'll talk about that in a second. There's no one in the ACC worth being competitive with. There's no one in the Big 12 that we really look at other than Texas Tech, and we thought maybe BYU because they were undefeated up to this point. But it's aging more and more finally for Notre Dame to say, yeah, we're independent, but that doesn't matter because we have a better strength of schedule than all the ACC teams and most of the Big 12 teams.
You want to know how watered down this sport has become? College game day is at Pitt and Notre Dame this weekend. Guys, Pitt is 7-2. They have played one Power 4 football team with a winning record.
Oh, checks out.
We're 2 weeks into November. They've played one Power 4 team that has a winning record. That's how watered down some of these conferences have become. Like some of these, it's really not. It's not even close to the level of differences between what some of these teams are playing. Guys, Oregon has a chance to play 3 ranked opponents all year. Alabama played 4 of them in consecutive weeks. It's not even close.
And it makes you really think, like, what would the ACC look like right now if all of the good teams had to play one another? Because they haven't had to play one another. There hasn't been one of these matchups other than Miami having to play Louisville. Like, that's really been the only marquee matchup. Like, at the time, it was Miami and Florida State. That one looked like it was kind of a good one. But in hindsight, that wasn't even real, like 2 of the top teams playing against one another. So if Clemson and Miami had to play one another and like all these top tier teams in ACC had to play one another this season, like what would it actually look like right now? It certainly wouldn't look the way that it does at the moment.
I agree. I think that the ACC now the devil's advocate here for the ACC is that we're in a very weird time where basically all their member schools, all their big name schools are having down years, with the exception of Miami and Georgia Tech. Like they're up, but they're not national championship caliber teams. Like we're not used to seeing Clemson be this bad. We're not used to seeing Florida State be this bad over the span of a decade. Like they've had down moments. Last year was obviously one of them, but we're not used to them being just, a dead fish.
I'm very used to Miami being inconsistent.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah.
Very used
That's
to that. That's
fair.
So somebody saying that we're avoiding the fact that the SEC has ass teams.
Oh, no, they have them.
They have them.
But
just
they
not
certainly have them.
12 of them.
Yeah,
So,
they exist.
They exist. They're down there. Also, some of those teams have like $14 million rosters, like Auburn. They say shit football coach.
Yeah.
So there is some of that going on. ACC meltdown for the absolute ages.
Good God.
I want to
Absolute ages.
And
2 weeks in a row. Because Georgia Tech and Miami did it last week. And then this week, they're like, nope, let's do it
Nobody
again.
wants it.
Nobody wants it.
Nobody wants to be at the top of the ACC right now. But I think these two losses are super impactful because there is a situation that could potentially happen in this conference where we get an 8-4 team in the playoff.
Yeah.
Are you guys aware of this?
No,
My Dukies.
Yeah, Duke, who is sitting at 5-4 right now.
Just
with
like I planned it.
3
Jonathan.
out-of-conference losses, the one conference loss being to Georgia Tech, has an opportunity to win out against Virginia, North Carolina, and Wake Forest, play in a conference title game, win the conference title game, and be a playoff team at 8-4.
Just like I planned it.
Oh, man.
My Dukies, playoff team early in the year, selected them. ACC champ right there.
He did.
Actually, I don't think I did. I think I selected Clemson as ACC champ
did.
with Duke
Yeah.
in there.
2
as a
ACC bid conference.
Two bid conference. Little did I know, my Dukies roll 8-4 conference champs. I love it. 9-4 conference champs. I mean, this is basically what Clemson did last year. Just
yeah,
with another
a variation of it.
With another loss. You
I
know?
mean, yeah, but
Because all of Clemson's losses, or most of them last year, were out of conference. Georgia and South Carolina.
mm-hmm.
And then they had the one, who'd they lose to? Louisville.
Yeah,
They got their ass beat at home against Louisville last
sure
year.
did.
So this has happened multiple years over.
Yeah,
And
but-
see, this is the other problem is I've been seeing, and I know who it came from because someone started spreading it, that there's a situation where no ACC team gets in because they wouldn't be a ranked, like it's 5 bids, guys. It's 4 Power 4 teams from each conference. Like the conference champion is getting in.
No
They're
matter
not going
what,
to get a
automatic
first round
bid.
bye.
Now, it's not automatic seeded.
Yeah,
It's straight seeding, but you are automatically awarded a playoff appearance if you
yes.
are a conference
so
champ.
Duke winning the conference
In the Power 4.
automatically puts them in the playoff. Like
Yeah.
that is in the rules.
I think the conversation that needs to be had here is the fact that even an 8-4 team can even have a chance to compete for a national title alongside a group of 5 team or
Well,
maybe multiple.
We have to pretend as if all these conferences are created equal.
But that's
and
what I'm
they're not.
saying. The system has failed tremendously. I would be against an 8-4 SEC team or an 8-4.
Somebody's saying it's not automatic bids. I was
It's
under the
not
impression that it
automatic
is.
buys. It's automatic,
automatic
bids.
buys.
If you win your conference in the Power 4, you're in the playoff. It just does not guarantee you a bye. But no, going back to this, the fact that an 8-4 team, whether they're from the SEC or the Big 12 or any other conference, the fact that they get a chance to compete for a national title is ridiculous. It's a failure of the system. And I think it's what's wrong with the 12-team college football playoff or just what the current system that we have. Get rid of auto bids, but then guess what? You're going to tank the validity of conferences.
Are you guys ready to agree with me that the American is better than the ACC?
All right.
I gave this take last week, and everybody was like, I don't know about that.
This is from NCAA.com that was posted.
The Feds. This is from the Feds.
This is from 5 hours ago. 12 teams will be selected to the playoff field with the selection committee's 5 highest-ranked conference champions earning automatic bids.
There you go.
There you go.
So the 5 highest-ranked conference champions would be. You could get 2 group of 5 conferences in. You could. There is a world where the ACC doesn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, if the American champion was ranked higher and UNLV was ranked higher than whoever wins the ACC championship, then yeah, the ACC champ is left out because the highest 5 conference champions
Yes.
were there. But that's never going to be the case. Not as long as we're covering college football. Do you think?
Unless things go catastrophically wrong in the ACC, which they have the last 2 weeks. But it's a fair assumption that the ACC, if Duke is 8-4 and they have an ACC championship, they'll probably be in the college football playoff.
Yeah, if we put in 2 G5 teams, gosh, I don't
Yes,
care if Duke is 8-4. I really don't care. If they win the ACC, they deserve it more than the G5 team.
Even James Madison?
I would say so. That's just my opinion.
Bobby Chesney's got a knuckle sandwich waiting on you.
I mean, we have an issue with one of these teams getting in. Nonetheless, 2 of them. I mean, we didn't even have a G5 team ranked in the top 25 last week, guys.
yeah, I know. And Memphis got the bid because they were the highest ranked non-power 4, and I think they were a 28.5-point dog mythically against Georgia.
Oh, it was like
One of
21.
them hypothetical.
It was like 21, yeah.
21 and a half
It was a
points
3
or something like that.
It was a 3-score spread.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
3 touchdown spread, I should say. 3 scores is a little different. 9-point spread and a 21-point spread, totally different.
Well, that's
Yeah.
not a 3-score spread.
Okay. It's 3 scores. Should we get into our Week 12 preview? We're a little behind the sticks about now.
Let's do it.
It's a decent name for a podcast, Behind the Sticks. Let's get into this SEC showdown. I think it's going to be the SEC game of the week, boys, as the Oklahoma Sooners travel out to Bryant-Denny Stadium to take on the Alabama Crimson Tide. 3:30 kick here, boys. The Crimson Tide have not lost an SEC home game since 2019. Can you name the football team?
That would have been LSU.
That would have been the LSU Joe Burrow-led Tigers. Now, a little bit of a fugazi stat. Do you know why?
Because they lost to Texas in 2020.
This guy's dialed tonight. This guy's absolutely locked in. You're right. They have lost a recent home game. It was the 2021?
2023.
2023
The year
Texas
before
home
Texas
game. Should have
joined the
known
SEC.
Caleb Downs was playing safety as a true freshman in that football game. This is an interesting football game to me because this is the best defense Alabama will play all year unless they match up with Ohio State at some point. We'll all agree with that one. This is the best front six you'll see. They're number 2 in sacks is Oklahoma. They're number 1 in TFLs. And Bama can't run the football. Why can't Alabama run the football? Let's talk about it. I had a film study today, and I've got film notes for you guys right here, right now. First and foremost, they've become such an efficient an inefficient running football team that you've all but abandoned it late in football games. Okay, when you get in tight ball games where you need a score and you got to go 12 plays, it's almost like 9 of the 12 will ultimately be pass plays because your most efficient offense right now is to just 5-yard hitch your way down the field instead of 2-yard run your way down the field because you can't 2-yard run your way down the field. You ain't going to pick up first downs. So you basically abandon, the running game, chasing efficiency as an offense. If it ain't efficient, it ain't going nowadays as an offense. We talked about this a little bit earlier in our live show, okay? If you are not calling efficient plays, you're going to get behind the sticks and you're not going to be able to be explosive because you can't hunt them. You're just hunting efficient downs again, right? When we get into 2nd and 12, we can't take a shot. When we get into 2nd and 12, we got to fight our ass to get off into 3rd and 4. We all understand that. So, you can't be an explosive offense if you're not an efficient offense first and foremost. I don't think the scheme is all that bad, to be honest with you. When we watch it, all I'm looking for as a football analyst, as a football observer, when I'm going into these situations is in running schemes, do we have hats for hats? In other words, if there are 7 guys in and around the box, do we have 6 ball carriers responsible for 6 defenders and then leaving the ball carrier one-on-one with the furthest most defender from the line of scrimmage? I think they do a good job of trying that, or at least scheming things up properly. They're not executing right about now. And Georgia fans that have listened to this network for years always told me I was player blaming and not giving enough, discredit to the coordinator, saying, well, that's their job to get the players to execute. No, the player's job is to go out there and execute, and I don't think they're doing a good enough job at it. I also think there is a real problem right now, very similar to what they had at the quarterback position last year, where the quarterback skill sets and play style do not fit the coordinator's play style and play design. All right, Milroe being a running first quarterback was not the most ideal fit for that system last year. We talked about it. They need an accurate downfield weapon, like dissector at a point guard at the quarterback position. They've got exactly that in Ty Simpson, and now the passing game has exploded. I think they have the same problem right now in personnel matching in style and how they play at the offensive line position. And I think you can look, and I picked a lot on Caden Proctor this year, but I think you can look right at that position and find what I'm talking about. Troy Fontenot was the tackle at Washington, and he was elite for that offense. They ran the football really well, really creatively. They didn't have to move guys off the spot. They kind of got around guys. They were a pin and pull offense. They were a wide zone stretch team out of the pistol. Predicated off of offensive linemen that were really athletic. Parker Brailsford, prime example of this. He played at 285 pounds out there at Washington. They bulked him up to 305. He was even thinner out there at Washington. You get to Alabama, and we trade out Troy Fontenot, a 6'4", 310-pound undersized tackle who is absolutely dominating on Sundays, by the way, right now, with athleticism and elite twitch in his feet. And we exchanged that for a 6'6", you could tell me he's 345 pounds. I don't believe it. 370-pound Caden Proctor. That's not that. Now, they're doing a really good job of trying to become a duo football team, trying to become a downhill, run behind 74, do things that make him comfortable football team, but that's not what they want to do. Do you know how I know this? Look at their 2026 recruiting class. I got them right here. 6'5.5", 300 pounds. 6'7", 290 pounds. 6'4", 285 pounds. 6'4", 320 pounds. Guys, there ain't no 6'6", 365 in the mix there. They're going for athletic profiles again back in the offensive line room. Chris Booker from the state of Georgia is a prime example of this. That is the most athletic offensive lineman in this state, and they have taken him because they are prioritizing athleticism again. Guys, I think we are 18 months removed from the best versions of this Alabama offense, and right now he's throwing shit at the wall hoping it sticks with regards to balance.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that you've gotten your passing game figured out for the most part because Ty Simpson has been absolutely dialed within the pocket. That receiver core has been everything that we thought they were going to be coming into the season. It's unfortunate that the running game is kind of not – the scheme is not matching the body types that you have on that roster right now. It's kind of the old square peg in a round hole analogy. It feels that way as far as Alabama's offense goes. Mm-hmm. But Ty Simpson has cleaned up a lot of these.
Yeah, and I see some people talking in the chat making some valid points about how Tennessee and Ole Miss were both able to throw all over this Oklahoma defense. Mm-hmm. The Tennessee game specifically, though, what I would point out is they threw all over them because they could not run the ball, and this is kind of what we're getting at, where Tennessee had 63 rushing yards. A team that is good at running the ball offensively consistently under Josh Heupel. Always has been good running the ball, but they couldn't, so they threw it 45 times to Joey Aguilar, and it turned into 2 interceptions. And I know Ty Simpson is not turning the ball over right now, but throw it 45 times against this defense.
That's what I was going to point out. Like, they have Oklahoma's resources are dedicated to the box. They both in style and in roster acquisitions. All of their best players are in their front six. They have serviceable and winnable safeties and corners. So, yeah, they're attackable back there, but you still got to protect the dudes up front. And that's a major problem that Alabama's had right about now. I think eventually you hit the nail on the head. No matter how – I think Simpson's only thrown 1 interception this year. Correct. No matter how turnover averse this offense is, you're right. Drop him back 45 times. Keep being one-dimensional and see if he don't. You know what I mean? It's a risky thing to consistently do over and over again. And not to mention, it's not just throwing it to them, it's strip sacks. They had one of them this weekend. Mm-hmm. You're constantly putting yourself at risk every single time we continue to drop back like we're doing right about now. Very, very interesting matchup to me, guys, because Oklahoma can't run the ball consistently. Not at least they found some success the last couple of weeks with Robertson. Number 24, the bigger back, getting downhill. They've had some explosive runs in the third and fourth quarters of the last 2 SEC football games. That's awesome. Mateer got involved with the legs again last week against Tennessee. But, man, both these football teams really struggle to run the ball. Which one of these quarterbacks will ultimately make the plays and avoid turnovers, I think, is the key. That
you boiling it down to that point right there is why. As bad of a matchup as I think it is for Alabama's offense against Oklahoma's defense, Alabama has a way better matchup defensively against Oklahoma's offense right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, offense has been a struggle for them, and had Oklahoma's defense not created so many plays for them and put the offense in so many good situations against Tennessee, they probably don't even win that game. So if they could replicate that type of performance this weekend, then they'll have a shot, but I don't know how this Oklahoma offense is going to fare against this Alabama defense.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matchup between 2 teams that kind of share proficiencies and deficiencies in what they're good at and bad at. I think that what Alabama's good at is just slightly better than what Oklahoma's good at in that regard. So I think Alabama has the edge right now, especially playing in Bryant-Denny, but stylistically it's not the best matchup for them.
Over under a half Bray Hubbard interceptions in this football game. Does he get one is what I'm asking you. Yay or nay?
I don't know if it'll be Bray Hubbard, but somebody will get one.
I'll say no. I mean,
Dejon Lee's the one that's been getting his hands on the ball lately for that football team. He's so daggone long. You throw anywhere near his quarter, and it's just good luck. Let's get into this Notre Dame at Pittsburgh game. Noon kick. Honestly, don't know why we're even spending time previewing this one. Did you hear what Narduzzi said today?
Yeah.
Narduzzi said, I don't give a shit if we lose by 100. This isn't a conference game. I don't care. What is that?
Yeah.
What is that nonsense?
I put the quote in my notes because I didn't like it either. Especially because I was going to give you these stats that I pulled of.
Narduzzi's such a curmudgeon, dude.
And why would
Such
you?
a curmudgeon.
You can't say that it doesn't matter to you. Like, you can't go into this game. College game day is coming to town. This is one of the biggest games that you've been in, for that being Pittsburgh, and the last 5 years probably. And we're just going to go into this one and like, who cares? We'll let Jeremiah Love run for 400 yards on Saturday. I don't care. I don't like it.
Yeah, I didn't like that one bit. I have nothing to add on that except for we could go into a deep talk about
every time I watch Pitt, they have a dynamic defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
For as long as I've been watching college football, I'm gonna turn the tape on and see a freak that's like undersized, not tall enough, not thick enough to play at Ohio State. So because that's the only massive school up there that constantly recruits those major cities up there in the Northeast. So I'm gonna go to Pitt. And I'm just going to dominate for 3 years and then go be a 4th-round draft pick and leave in the league for 10.
Going back to your stat about Pittsburgh, though, like going back to who they have played this year, only one Power 4 team with a winning record so far this year.
Louisville. And they lost.
And they lost. They are they're one of these teams where you go look at the stat sheet, that probably doesn't tell you the actual picture about this team, because I'm about to read you off some numbers and you'll be like, this might be a good matchup against Notre Dame. I don't think it's going to be, but Pittsburgh is top 10 in scoring. They're number 6 in the country right now for points per game offensively. Top 5 in stopping the run. However, they are horrible against the pass. They rank 97th in the country defensively against the pass. So one of the best scoring teams in the country, one of the best teams in the country at stopping the run. You hear those two things, you're like, really tough matchup for Notre Dame. But I don't know if they played anybody to consider like, these are legitimate. Like, they are legitimately one of the best in the country.
They have legitimately played nobody.
Yeah.
If Pitt wins this game, it will be because of two things. One, because their offense was as advertised despite not really having a competition that's leveled up to them. And two, they were able to exploit Notre Dame's weaknesses. Because, yes, Pitt does have the 11th ranked offense in passing. That might be, fugazi simply because of who they played. But Notre Dame's passing defense ranks 90th in the country. So there is an avenue here where you can chuck the ball on these guys. You can exploit some weaknesses, maybe get a couple of turnovers to go your way. We've seen Marcus Freeman teams lose to unranked opponents. Now, I know that Pitt's going to be ranked at the time, but lose to lesser than opponents basically every year he's coached there. So maybe this is the one. But you guys are right. On paper, I don't think Pitt is as good as advertised, and I don't think this should be a close game.
Chad's asking, when was the last time Pitt had a good football player not named Aaron Donald? Kalijah Cansey, first-round defensive lineman in 2023. So there you go. Just 2 years ago.
Jordan Aston was also good. Kenny Pickett was a good college quarterback.
We were talking defensive lineman.
Okay.
So, yeah, like 2 years ago, they had a first-rounder. So.
Yeah, they seem to always have good bodies on the defense. Mm-hmm. Always seem to be sound there.
I just can't get over that stat. The fact that they are 7-2, they've played one school with a winning record, and they have a loss to West Virginia. What's the line? I mean,
11.5.
Yeah, I was about to say Notre Dame has to be favored by 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Well, not 2 touchdowns, but 11.5.
That's 2 touchdowns. It should be 2
touchdowns.
That's
2 scores.
I'm taking Notre Dame plus. Give me the points. Or lay the points. I don't give a damn. Shout out to Kenny Two Gloves Pickett, by the way.
No.
I'd rather not shout him out, to be honest.
No.
The
purveyor of the fake slide, though.
Yeah.
Cool.
That was about the last highlight he's had in his whole career.
Damn. South Carolina on the road at Texas A&M. Big time noon kick here for these two football teams. Guys, Texas A&M was in line for a college football playoff last year before a random late November trip up against Auburn. Granted, that one on the road, this one at home. So I have to avoid another slip. Is this the letdown? Christian, you've been praying for their downfall all year. Is this the one?
I don't know if I've said been praying for their downfall.
No. I'm caveating you as the A&M hater.
Okay.
Someone's got to be it. Everyone else is. I think this is the most. It's weird to me. I think this is the most randomly disliked, or at least unbelieved in, football program in the country right about now.
I mean, it's because, like I said, they have not
History.
historically given you reasons to believe in them. Historically, they've given you reasons to think, they are good. Wait, they just fumbled it.
That's fair.
So that's why they're not believed in right now. What I will say is, like, I'm not going to come out and say this is the one where they stumble.
Oh, buddy, there's no way. Here's why. South Carolina, Lenore Sellers got no chance in this football game.
He does have to
This
play.
South Carolina offensive line is going to be turnstile for 4.
Yeah, it's going.
It's going to look like the Will-to-World operator at the carnival.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this is one of the better SEC matchups that we can talk about for this weekend outside of Georgia versus Texas, which, of course, we'll talk about in the local hour plenty. But, I mean, I had to throw it in here because it is one of the best teams or maybe the best team in the conference right now going up against another SEC opponent this weekend. But I'm with you. I don't see an avenue where South Carolina pulls out a win in this one because the offense has been so poor. I mean, they found a way to potentially get one against Alabama, and the students got way too excited way too early, thought they were going to rush the field, and it ultimately ended up in a loss. I just think everything has been stripped away from this program.
Guess who picked up the spoon?
Who?
Colin Cowherd.
he's
Got
back.
Lenore Sellers ranked 3rd on his QB list. He's been watching a whole lot of college football, hasn't he?
Probably
Yikes.
Put the
Yikes.
spoon down, Colin. It's not good for your health.
Now, we laugh at that. He very well could be the number 3 quarterback on draft boards next year.
Michael Thick, still draft him. Hope he's a god, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this game is going to require Lenore Sellers to play like that if South Carolina wants to win.
The problem for Lenoris this year is he has to be a superhuman just to get any yards.
Have a chance.
Like, he has to evade a free runner before he even gets to his drop. And then once he evades that guy, now it's let's run laterally for 30 yards and see if we can find anybody trying to get open, and they probably won't.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very steep uphill climb to win
The
this game
further
for South
down the
Carolina.
road, didn't mean to talk over you right there. The further down the road we get in this season, the more mind-boggling it is to me how South Carolina went about their offseason acquisitions this year. Because, I mean, you just kind of rat-a-tat down the list of look at the defensive line and edge bodies that they brought in. There's a guy from Campbell that they brought in. They brought in Jadeveon Clowney's brother, who didn't play at a major school last year.
But he didn't play at Charlotte when he played there.
Yeah, like it was quite a few bodies of guys. Like the best player that they brought in out of the portal was Cisse from NC State, the defensive back, and he's played well for them.
And Faison.
Yeah, but Faison was from Utah State, who he's been okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you expected.
Real risky decision, assuming that you're going to win a lawsuit over the NCAA.
Right. I mean, that one was touch and go the entire offseason,
entire offseason.
literally
All
right
camp.
before.
All camp, couldn't practice.
Was training for the NFL in case he had to do that avenue instead. Like, had no idea which way that one was going to fall. So they just kind of took some stabs at guys that like, maybe this one hits, maybe this one hits. Considering, like, this is our last season with the North Sellers probably.
That's what I was going to say. How much of that was they didn't have any budget left? You know they had to pay Lenoris. You know they had to pay Dylan.
Yeah.
Stewart. Both those guys got raises. They were already the major consumption of their cap. Those guys got raises this offseason.
And to be fair, that's how they treat recruiting classes. Like, they're going to find 1 or 2 guys that they're going to pay a bunch of money for, and they're going to get a 5-star, and they're going to get another top 100 player, and the rest of the class is going to be good football players from the state of South Carolina or guys that they think are traitsy enough to come play for them.
They really are a demise of their own structure, the way that they've created it. They go out and sign one blue chipper, and then when the blue chipper gets there, buddy, and plays well, you're going to have to blue chip the blue chipper. You're going to have to give him another chip. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, it's a great point right there. They promoted their wide receivers coach who got there 12 months ago to be the offensive coordinator. I don't know if the guy's got history in calling plays. I know he's got a tremendous bicep and tricep workout. That dude is jacked.
Nice.
Google him right quick.
What's his name?
Just Google South Carolina wide receivers coach. Wow. It's a big super chub right there.
Perfect
Go
time.
ahead and hit those.
It is. Let's talk quickly about Iowa USC. USC, you got to win this football game, and here's why. I got to have that USC Oregon game next week mean something. It has to, because y'all are running out of opportunities to have any meaningful games down the stretch. And I'm not just going to wait until the first weekend of December to find out if the 2 top teams in your conference are worth a shit. So give me something. Give me something in terms of a real meaningful football game next week between USC and Oregon. And the only way that happens is if USC wins against Iowa, which, by the way, I think they will. If this game's at Iowa, I worry about USC. This being at the Coliseum might have a chance in front of those 18,000 screaming Trojan fans. Reality_witness says, Brooks Austin, the best college football analyst on YouTube. If you say so, I don't feel as if I'm that. I will say this. The only thing I ever aspire to be is the hardest worker in this industry. That's the only thing I will ever say I am. I think I work harder than anybody else. I aspire to. I don't know if I achieve that every day, but I aspire to. I don't care to be the best. I think if you work hard enough, you'll eventually be the best, though. Rick Texag says, Aggies loving. Winning 4 road games, check. Scoring 40-plus points, check. Rotating your O-line, including center and D-line, check. Next, BTHO, beat the hell out of South Carolina, thumbs up. Loving college football, love the show. Thanks, Rick's Tex, Ags. He also doubled down and said, I appreciate the show. Show entrepreneurs, starting a business is hard. Great respect to y'all. Gig 'em. You ain't lying. Getting any type of business up off the ground nowadays is impossible, it seems. Brooks, 5-4 Duke has the second best odds to win the ACC. If they win the ACC, does the ACC team get in the playoffs? I think JMU and ACC winner gets in over. That was the scenario we kind of laid out earlier. I disagree. I think that a ACC champion probably gets in over. You know, they'll make the playoff committee decide between those two.
Could you imagine the riot at that point? Because considering like the history that there has been with the ACC and the playoff committee already, where an undefeated team did not get in.
My
I know it was a
God.
4 team. Imagine the conference champion not getting into the playoff and them not having a single team potentially.
Does Danny Cannell retire?
Whoa. I mean, I think that this one will have grounds, in my opinion.
La Flama Blanca. I love this one right here. No real question here. Just love what you guys do and want to let some love rain down. Nice to have a daily show that puts substances behind the takes. Go Dogs. Shout out to La Flama Blanca. Shout out to the Dogs. We got a whole nother hour of all dog talk coming up next after this quick break and maybe something special for you.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? You really like that? Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Let's shut up and let's grind. If you look at his eyes right now, guys, we will see his aiming point. His initial track is right there to the butt of Drew Bobo. Look at that. If we stay firm through here, our back's going to stay firm off of Drew's butt. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This stuff got me excited. This stuff got me excited right here. Look at the explosion. Grabbing his belt loops and going, okay? We call this chasing the butt. All right, he is chasing the butt, chasing the butt, chasing the butt. You know what he's doing? He's chasing the butt. Now, no matter how hairy or how tight the crease gets, we got to trust it. I call this the banana in the tailpipe.
Welcome in to the local hour. We're getting some things prepped for the show right now. Hope you enjoyed the Diddy counter. What was your favorite one? What was your favorite one, Christian?
I mean, I don't know if I had a favorite one. There's just a lot of butt stuff in it.
Oh,
A lot of butt talk.
a lot of butt stuff, huh?
I mean, he put it on tape.
He did.
I mean, look, when we're talking about run fits, or we're talking about fitting it into the proper crease and chasing the right butt, you know, some things happen. Some things happen occasionally. It's not my fault. Not my fault. Football. I mean, the head coach did eat on Saturday, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
did.
He been getting into it.
He did.
did,
Coach
didn't he?
Smart did it pretty hard.
What was it?
Somebody
Said-
Anthony Evans. and he
See,
said-
I was riding that kid so hard
Oh,
last
yeah,
year.
riding
No,
Kids
he
hard.
said. I thought he said I rode that kid's butt so hard.
That's what it was.
Something
I rode
like
that kid's butt so
It
hard.
involved Anthony Evans and riding him. So,
I mean, it's football. Some
It happens.
things happen.
It happens.
And it is very, very important as an offensive lineman when you feel as if you've been beaten across your face to chase the butt. you know? So that's that. We got a loaded local hour for you guys tonight. We got game reactions, thoughts from Stark Vegas. I think I underrated Stark Vegas the first time out there. And excited to have another chance to see that town. Maybe not so much with the state. We got game balls. I've got film notes for you guys tonight. I've got a really, really in-depth preview of Texas as well. Let's start with the reactions. Boys, let's get y'all's first. What were your thoughts on this football game?
I said earlier this season on the show, can we just get – I don't even need a full game from us. I don't need 4 quarters of domination. Can we get maybe 3 of them? And this was what you got. You got 3 quarters of dominating football on both sides of the ball, and look at the result. The first quarter obviously was a little shaky. We're down 7-3 in that. Had a fumble on the goal line. They drove down the field on a 15-yard or a 15-play drive, absolutely walked it down, and we're kind of all sitting in the box going, looks like it's going to have to be one of those games today. 3 quarters you dominated, and look at the result. Like, if Georgia can turn in, I think 3 quarters of that football, they will win the national championship if they do that game in, game out.
I think this was a good thing to happen, not because like any blowout win, that's a great thing, but I think specifically like it was probably good for Georgia fans to go into an entire half, like at halftime, you knew you had that one in the bag, like to watch this 3rd and 4th quarter of that game and finally be able to just kick back and enjoy this team specifically, like just complete, like no stress free. We're just watching the dogs beat up on another dog, like. I think that was probably a great thing for this fan base to just really enjoy and take in this team for once.
Did we have anybody get kicked out of the Discord on Saturday?
I think maybe there was one person.
How you wilding during that football game?
The one drive, I suppose. I don't know. The only reason why I say that is because I saw that person complaining on Twitter later that he got kicked out. So, but
yeah. I thought even the first drive there was, and we talked about this in our walk and talk, there were things in that first drive, it was like, that's not happening again.
15 plays.
15 plays is one. The other one is like, how many, I mean, there's a 1st and 15 in that. Mm-hmm. There's a 3rd and 11 in the middle of that. There was an overcoming 2nd and 16 in the middle of that. It's like so many things that you're just not doing multiple times over against Georgia.
It definitely that drive style definitely did not feel sustainable. I agree with that. And there were things during that drive where it was like, okay, we're getting sacks on here, we're getting good quarterback pressure, we're forcing incompletions. Like there were good things being done through that drive. So it wasn't the most nerve-wracking drive you've had of Georgia football. It was like, man, are we going to be able to stop these guys today? But
I thought the biggest play in that football game was Brennan Thompson getting rolled up.
But he still played.
I know he did, but he wasn't himself. You
No.
edited the photos. Did you see the one, how bad it was?
Oh, I mean, I watched it happen. I was like, whoever that was just got rolled up on it. The next thing I know, I see number 0 pulling on his hamstring.
People asking if we have a Discord. Yes, we do. It is attached to our Patreon, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. It is the best Discord you'll ever be a part of.
Amen.
And it's got an Unk.
I mean,
that's what happened. Buddy picked a fight with Unk.
Oh, yeah,
you
can't do
gonna
that.
lose
Can't do that.
one, buddy.
Can't do that.
That man walk around with a spike bat. You in trouble.
I thought that was a big play, though. I thought but more
Like the stream.
Georgia did a great job in the secondary of their wide receivers were able to make some plays, but you got them suckers on the ground. There weren't any like major runners, and
tackled well.
Mississippi State was not able to take a bunch of explosive shots.
That's what I was going to say. Georgia's defensive backroom played very, very well. I was kind of surprised by the lack of shots they took. Now, obviously, they didn't have as much time to throw for those shots, but even still, I didn't feel like that they were prioritizing trying to get things down the field, quick hitters.
I think they tried. I think they got pushed off the spot too damn quick.
Yeah, they did.
Because even that wide choice system, it's like a half drop and hold. You'll see those quarterbacks, their feet will die on them because they're waiting for things to develop. It's wide choice. You're all the way outside the numbers. You got an opportunity to either go vertical or stop where you're at based off coverage. So the quarterback's sitting there holding the ball. If you can't protect for a good 3 count, it ain't happening. You're getting pushed off the spot. And I thought most of the football game, Chafin was rolling to his right until ultimately it cost him a broken rib.
You know it's Chapin, right?
Chapin?
With a P?
There's an H in there. What the hell's the H?
No, there's not.
There's not an H in there? No. That's Blake Chapin?
Dude,
Yes.
all of last week I'm like, is he saying Chafin?
Chafin?
This guy's saying Chafin.
I could have sworn there's an H in there.
And I was like, I'm just going to let him roll with it, to be honest. And then when they went on the big words like Blake Chapin, I was like, okay, we were right. But yeah, it's like, where's he getting chafing from? I don't know, but
no, I think that Georgia's defensive room, which credit to Glenn Schumann here, because I felt like more so than ever they attacked the launch point in multiple ways and were more exotic with their pressures and blitzes that I haven't seen necessarily throughout the season.
And I know Chat's already brought him up, and I understand that he did end up giving an explosive play at the end of the game, and a bunch of people decided to bag on him for it, all that stuff. I think that everybody should be commending Daniel Harris for how he played.
Crapping on him.
Oh yeah, he gave up the one explosive late in the game, and
How about instead? And are you about to give the take? Go ahead, finish.
no, I was gonna say, like, how about everybody give him credit for the fact that that kid hasn't played in 6 weeks. 6 weeks, I would say. Like, has been on the bench, has played special teams. A veteran Georgia player who has started multiple games last year, came into the season as a starter, got the job stripped away from him, has only played special teams, and they throw him in that game. And for like 3 quarters, he played well, in my opinion. And that guy showed up and was locked in enough to go play defensive back for Georgia against one of the best passing defenses in the country. Let's talk about that instead of, oh, there goes Daniel Harris giving up an explosive again. That's why he doesn't play.
I mean, the idea of the fact that he was ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Most people thought that kid was already checked out, ready to go.
yeah.
forward.
Yeah, I mean,
Most people assumed he was just telling them, "Don't play me anymore," because I'm saving a red shirt type shit.
right.
And
Like,
that kid's ready to go in and play in that situation.
Yeah, me and Jay were, because I remember it was after the fumble for Dylan Bell, the defense came on the field, then they started reviewing. I said, I think Daniel Harris was on the field for that defense. Like, and Jay was kind of, really? Or was it special teams? But seeing Daniel Harris on the field was a pleasant surprise. So,
Yeah, I loved that. I also loved hearing the stories about what Kirby did Saturday morning. Thought that was awesome. You know, if you haven't heard the stories, Kirby, it's 11 a.m. local kick, man. That was a 6:45 breakfast call is what we were told.
Had a wake-up call with 6:30, 6:45 breakfast.
6:45 breakfast, wake-up call at 6:30, team meeting probably at 7:05.
Yep.
That's probably how quickly these things were happening, on the bus by 8. Kirby, I guess, had the whole football operations team planned to have a bunch of videos of people that were close to all the players, not all of them, but a lot of the players, and have them share memories and thoughts on rec league football, Pop Warner football, you play every game at 10 a.m. You play every game when you're young at 8 a.m. I mean, my first football games of my life were at 8 a.m.
yep.
You're getting to the ballpark at 6:30. You're going your fat butt through weigh-ins at 7. You're going through pregame at 7:15. You're getting ready to kick at 8. And, it's a total, remembrance of what, was original football. And I thought that was a great moment to have, whether it be Oscar said his Pop Warner football team coaches were the ones that spoke to him.
That's cool.
Nate's
Nice.
mom was the one who spoke to him. Some of parents and different things. I thought that was awesome. And it's why I think that, to me, more than X's and O's nowadays, that to me is what great coaches do. Great coaches find ways to motivate. They find ways to connect.
Yeah.
They're all these guys, when they get to their CEO role, they're all great X's and O's guys. They're all great coordinators, except for Shane Beamer. But all these guys were great coordinators. Obviously, they have X's and O's abilities. But the difference makers are the ones that are consistently winning, the ones that win 87% of their games, like Kirby. Those guys are great motivators. They're great connectors. They're great relationship builders, and that was an exact example of that. I've got film notes. Do you want them?
Let's hear the film notes.
All righty. Let's break it down here.
Ooh,
What?
I did have a few other things I wanted to know that I just want to make sure I get to. First things first, and I said it to you this morning. I still believe in it. I think Elias Williams could be the best offensive player for this team moving forward. Not this year, but the next 2 years, I think that guy could be the most impactful offensive player that Georgia has on the roster. We saw it in the blocking game on the film, and then I tweeted this out, and I think that they've thrown more 50-50 balls to him than they ever did Darnell's entire career. And that's not me crapping on Darnell Washington, but both of these guys are seen as these anomalies, like size-wise as a tight end. Both are two very different athletes.
This kid has a chance to be way better than Darnell. I want people to know that.
Yeah.
Way better than Darnell.
And that's why
Guys,
I feel
Darnell
that way.
was 285 pounds by his sophomore year of college. It was done. It was like the idea, and you're talking about he got more one-on-ones. They tried.
Oh, they tried,
in Darnell's
yeah.
career. They were going to make him that. But immediately he was way too big. Immediately he was having foot injuries. Immediately the knee was bothering. Immediately, because we couldn't keep the weight off of him. This is a total different animal. This kid has the chance to be everything Darnell could have been. if the weight would have stayed
Yeah.
off. I think a lot of people forget Darnell Washington was 235 pounds as a senior in high school. That was a thin-framed football player. He's playing pro football at 305 right now.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's totally different. This kid, you're right. This kid has a chance to be real special. And it sounds to me like he's a freak. Like all he wants is work. All he wants is more. I did find it a little concerning that Kirby said we got to keep this guy. Did you hear that post game?
I feel like that's just what you say about every player, man. Like
Yeah.
every 5-star
Yeah.
that you get on offense
right.
that plays as a freshman,
You're right.
everybody's going to be saying, ooh. I mean, we said the same thing about Kamario Taylor for Mississippi State. We're like, well, that was the worst thing that could have happened for Mississippi State is Shapen get hurt, and Taylor has to play now because they got to let out all the goods about this guy. And now everybody's going to say, oh, really good quarterback they got over
See
there.
a lot of pray for Lawson, prayers up for Lawson. Guys, he's going to be okay. It was a tough hit. It was obvious. I don't know if you're allowed to use the word concussion nowadays, but it was an obvious knockout moment, and we got up. As soon as I see a player get set up or rolled over, I'm good. I'm all right, breath exhale, that type of deal. So that type of stuff. Before I get to these film notes, don't sleep on them, Kirby. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on
Don't sleep on who?
Don't sleep on who? Don't sleep on Sleeper. Don't sleep on Sleeper all year long. Do not sleep on Sleeper.
Thank you very much
Let
for
them
that
know why.
reminder. Sleeper. If you don't know what it is by now, you haven't been watching the show because they've been our sponsors since day one of the season. Correct me if
Numero
I'm
uno.
wrong. Exactly. Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that is focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming, two of our favorite things. It has become the fastest organically growing platform in the world with over 6 million active users. I would assume that number is inaccurate. At that point, it's probably way bigger. It is operational in 25 U.S. states. That's more than half of the United States, more than half of the connected 48. Check them out today. Head over to sleeper.com and use promo code Brooks. You will get a 100% deposit match up to $100 on your first deposit. Sleeper, thank you very much for your support.
Shout out to those guys over at Sleeper, and shout out to you guys. Shout out to Jonathan for having Epic Pen ready in about 2 or 3 minutes.
It's already up there, buddy.
This guy's dialed. Man, we're going to talk about it tomorrow on Paul Feinbaum's show at 4:30. This is a body blows offense. And I don't know if Kirby used that exact verbiage a couple weeks ago when he talked about their method to their madness of being a real methodical-based offense, a real we got to get and earn our right to be in 3rd and 2 type of offense. But they are a body blows offense. They are going to lean on you and beat on you for 4 quarters. And now that they're healthy up front, they stay so incredibly fresh. Juan Gaston will play right tackle. He'll go in there and play right guard. Donnie Glover will play right guard and left guard. All it does is allow them to get Ernest a blow or get Micah a blow. It allows 6 offensive linemen, a real tight rotation with one player playing 2 positions, well, really 2 players playing 2 positions, but one playing guard and tackle, the other one just playing both guard spots, that for 4 quarters, man, they lean on your ass. And they play with such high levels of effort and intensity that it's a problem for these defenses because they get left out on the field, especially now that Georgia's defense is starting to stack some of these quick turnover or quick turnouts, right? Quick get the ball back opportunities for our offense. And eventually the dam ultimately breaks for these guys. I know this is the first 300-yard football game, but I feel like only one defense has really contained this running game, and it was Auburn. And that was it. Outside of that, they have pretty much done whatever they want at will. And I don't know who their run game coordinator is. I don't know if it's Stacy Searles. I don't know if it's Phil Rauscher. I don't know if it's the Lilly guy that came in. I don't know if it's Mike Bobo. I'm sure it's a collective of all the brainchilds that is that offensive staff right about now. But they are dominating in scheme alone. I'm still waiting for Mississippi State's defensive coordinator to adjust. Give me 1 second. Let me put a microphone on. I mean, guys, they had, 175 yards? We didn't actually add it up on the film stuff.
Yeah.
But if I said 175, you'd say about –
Yeah, sure.
they had about 175 yards on one damn play on Saturday, and they ran it over and over and over again. And again, I am still, to this day, waiting for Mississippi State's coordinator to make a change. Let's go to the board. I do have this Legends sweatshirt on again, so we might be getting some audio popping. Y'all bear with me. We're gonna do this real quickly, okay? That being said, I left my pen over here at the desk. All right, I'm going to draw this up one time, clean cut for you, because this is all they did to him Saturday. Again, for about 175 of those 300 yards, okay? They were attacking what I'm calling, or what most people would call, the short side of the defense, okay? And they were getting to this look consistently over and over and over again. Put two receivers over here and put Zachariah Branch either over here or, as they started the football game, right here lined up next to him. But for these purposes, for this demonstration right here on this singular play, we're going to put him out there over at the X receiver side. Now, Mississippi State was trying to line up in an odd front defense, okay? They had 3 down linemen, a Mike and a Will, all right? And then they would stack the safety kind of like right here, all right? They would obviously have a corner over here on that X receiver, all right? The other safety bracketing, they'd play 3 over the 2 receivers over here. They'd put a corner, a linebacker, and then they'd have the other safety over the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Missing a safety, 11, okay? There's 11 players on the defensive side of football. Am I correct there? Do I have the right number? Actually, I think I'm missing a linebacker. I am. I'm missing a linebacker. Give me 1 second. The linebacker's over here. All right. He's hanging out right there. All right, so here's what they did. All right, they were trying to shorten this side over here. They would motion Zachariah Branch over here, and what it would cause is this safety to rotate over, this corner to bump over here. Now, here's how they would attack this short side of the field over here. They'd get a combination block up to the Mike, all right? They'd get a combination block over here to this Mike. They'd pull a backside guard for that linebacker. They'd pull a backside tackle for that corner that's now in run support, and now we got a gasher into that short side of the defense with good numbers. They ran this again for 175 some odd yards on Saturday. We got to do a much better job with the actual video of that tomorrow when we go on Feinbaum, because we're going to show that exact clip when we get there, okay? Whether it was pin and pull, whether it was counter, whatever it was adding hats into that short side of the field. Ball on that right hash, trying to show that trips look. They absolutely worked them for 4 quarters on that one look, boys.
No, I mean, we saw it a handful of times in the game and in the film breakdown. It is just how, and I think that really accounts into how scared defenses are of Zachariah Branch.
Oh, buddy, how about them? It's my next note right there. How about them running fake screen before they even ran a screen?
Yeah.
The third play of the football game is them pumping a screen to Zachariah Branch. The entire Mississippi State defense sucks up to it because you're terrified of it. He's Zachariah Branch over there, and then bam, London Humphrey hits us for a 40-yard explosive on the third play of the football game. It's the first time in a long time I've seen a team hit Fox without hitting the screen. The last time I remember was Ohio State against Oregon in the Rose Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They hit the tight end down the sideline on the first play of the football game running Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, how are y'all jumping screens when we haven't thrown a screen yet? That was crazy to me. The other thing, I thought Gunner missed one throw all day, and it was the cover 3 seam shot
to Elias. Yeah.
Threw it way late.
We were talking about that move. We couldn't tell if it was behind him or if it was even just intended for Elias, but
it was late. What the concept, Kirby, is we had the cheat motion comeback, and we had the condensed split from Elias running a vertical into cover 3, ball in the left hash.
So you're just reading that backer?
Yeah, the apex defender, correct. If he apexes to the flat, we got the seam now, but it's got to be 3-step, 1 hitch.
Yeah.
He went 3 steps, 1 hitch, checks the comeback, doesn't like it because the apex defender has sunk up underneath it, and then tries to go back to the vertical. We're too late.
I also wanted to bring this up during the film study, but you were cooking, so I didn't want to interrupt you. But when you were talking about the play-action flood play where Zachariah Branch breaks off an out route, sits down.
Nuts.
So I wanted to bring up, because we said the same thing, like, whoa, someone clearly was not in the right spot. London pats himself on the chest and says, like, my bad.
Oh.
So I don't know what he was supposed to do instead, but he clearly did something wrong. It was not supposed to be there.
Squat in the zone
Maybe,
too?
like, he's supposed to see what Zachariah does. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue. It was very weird to see that play. And what they're talking about is they ran a very obvious play-action flood, which is the concept we've seen on this network for years now, where put the ball into the belly of the back, quarterback's rolling to his right. We got the number 1 wide receiver going on an I love football route. We got the number 2 wide receiver running a corner. We got the number 2 wide receiver from the backside running a deep over. And for some reason, Branch just squats instead of runs the corner.
And Gunner expected it.
Yeah, knew it was going to happen. It was like, I like my theory that they're just out there playing ball.
I like it too.
They're out there running backyard bullshit.
And maybe London wasn't on page with the backyard BS. I don't know.
And I'd be all over that because that means your 2 best players offensively right now are on the same page and ad-libbing playing free.
Mm-hmm.
That would be insane to see. I don't think we've ever seen – no. JT and George. JT and George played so outside of the structure 90% of the time because that's how George Pickens be playing football.
Yeah.
Hey, this dude's some food. Give me the ball. Yes, George.
I'm not going to tell you I'm going to run. Just know I'm going to be open.
I'm going to be open. That's what the play is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be.
And he usually was.
And he usually was. The whole entire Missouri game was, I'm going to be open.
Yeah.
And he was. F it. George going to be down there somewhere. Nate maximized every yard available, and I love seeing that. Every single yard and some available on tape. He pulled off on a safety with 1 cleat.
Yeah, he did.
That was
That was
crazy.
impressive.
Had his stride broken and still pulled away from defenders.
You can see defenders lose their spirit on tape. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
They go from popping up after plays to kind of like dragging themselves up off the ground. They go from talking trash to immediately putting their head down after the play, going back to the huddle. They go from striking blocks to avoiding them. You can watch it happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awesome to see.
As for the Nate's explosive run, I worded it as Nate Frazier has earned the right to that explosive run for what he has done the last 4 weeks.
Just being boring.
Like we talk about dirty yards. He's been picking up dirty yards consistently. He's just been putting his head down, putting 2 hands on the ball, and it felt like eventually we're going to get to a point where he's going to break one off, and he absolutely earned every single right to breaking that run off.
Not just that, not just what he's done through the 4 weeks on the field, through what he's gone through from the fan base. I mean, there were people all over social media. There were analysts, experts saying Chauncey Bones is clearing away the best running back here. He needs to get 15 carries a game. We need to cut.
I did it. We. I did it.
So the fact that he had this game where Nate Frazier got the 12 to 15 carries and was the feature back and exploded, kind of stopped the Nate Frazier's running back 2 now, and was a great reward for him. So
Also,
he deserved it.
While we're on the running back rooms, stop asking about Roger Robinson. Roger Robinson's playing his ass off on special teams right about now. Has been the last 2 or 3 weeks. Also, having been on the sideline, nobody goes and congratulates their teammates quicker than Roger Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
That dude's locked in. I wish people, and I'm not saying fans are doing this, they're just wondering where he's at. I feel like fans check out quicker than the player does sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
I know parents do. I know parents check out well quicker than the kids do sometimes. So
I do want to say this about the running back room, but for one, I think Chauncey was a starter this weekend. Am I wrong on that?
you're right.
Yeah, so I think he was a starter, but I think they've reached like the perfect spot with the running back room as far as
Hot hand.
Chauncey. Exactly. Where last week it was Nate Frazier who was a starter. Chauncey was the hot hand, though, so we're going to feed that guy. We're going to give him all the carries. This past weekend, Chauncey was a starter, but Nate Frazier was clearly the hot hand that day. We're going to give him all the carries. Like, you've reached the perfect happy medium with this running back duo of we're going to figure out which one's hot that day, and we'll give them all the carries.
You know who's extremely hot right now? The tight end room.
Ooh,
The tight end
yes.
room is blocking. Like I was a little bit taken aback when Todd Hartley, and he doesn't do coach speak. He doesn't get in front of the microphone enough to be doing it. When he come to the microphone last year and said that Oscar Delp was the best inline blocker he's ever had, I was like, ooh, coach, I don't know about that. I watch him now and I'm like, all right, you were right. Like there's no bones. Like this dude is blocking his ass off. Y'all, every pin and pull y'all have, every counter that y'all have that hits explosively, it's because Oscar Delp is taking a 270-pound SEC defensive end and moving him against his will consistently, or pinning him down against his will consistently. Four is doing such a damn good job. And the other thing about this tight end room, I have not seen a clip of an offensive player uncoiling his feet or uncoiling his hips and exploding his feet like number 10 Elias Williams did on Saturday
That was rather nuts.
ever.
It was insane.
It's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's twitch. It's what it is. That's what twitch and explosion look like. Guys, he takes a defensive end, gets underneath, 6'7", gets underneath his chin strap and uncoils his feet or uncoils his hips at such veracity that both of his cleats come out of the ground at the same time and reestablish themselves back into the ground. And then he moves his feet and drives the kid up out of the ground. It's nuts what 10 put on tape on Saturday.
They fight. That tight end room has, like, outside of what the offensive line has been able to accomplish this year, I think that room has probably been the most impressive collectively, in my opinion. Like, no matter who's in there, it seems like they're making flash plays. They're making effort plays every single time. No matter if they're involved or not, those guys are fighting their butt off every single snap.
Speaking of fighting, I felt like 86 came to that football game pissed off.
That's the most physical I've seen.
That's my
Dylan
note
Bell
right there.
play.
That's the most physical 86 has played all year.
I would agree with that. I mean, it was the first time he touched the ball. It was,
Correct me if I'm wrong. I kind of threw this idea out to Jay Will. When Dylan Bell got to Georgia, he was kind of this burner speedster guy. Am I wrong in that? Or I felt like he's kind of adapted into this kind of physical gadgety.
I felt like from jump they thought he was going to be their version of Deebo Samuel.
Okay, then I'm just wrong.
And
on
even his like high school tape was very I do it all kind of thingy.
I guess I just thought like in that 2022 season was kind of like, hey, this Dylan Bell kid's a burner. Be careful for him. I could be completely misremembering that.
I've never ventured. They've used him as a run after the catch guy. They've used him as a give the ball to him now, let him run over people. He's built like a back. He's great with it after the catch. I've never really seen them use him as he can take it 75. Like they don't vertical this guy. Matter of fact, even like all of his I'm playing X receiver plays are back shoulder fades, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's never stacked a corner and ran away from him, has he? Is what I'm saying.
He did against Ole Miss, kind of, on that deep shot to kind of ice the game.
He got tackled out of bounds.
Yeah.
Or not tackled at the catch point, right? Yeah.
It was a diving catch. It was incredible.
Correct. And the Notre Dame explosive that he got hit in the face and dropped was a deep over.
Deep over.
Double moved against Alabama for an explosive.
The Dylan Bell I remember when he first got to Georgia was, this guy's just really tough to tackle.
Yeah.
Like the very first play I remember is when 3 dudes try and tackle him. He breaks all 3 of them, loses his shoe, and then dang near takes it 45 yards that had not been called dead. Like that's the first play I remember of Dylan Bell. Like, this is a physical wide receiver that can do a little bit of everything.
I guess I'm just misremembering that then.
I thought 57, 74, and 71. Monroe Freeland, Drew Bobo, and Ernest Green. I'm not saying the 2 guards don't play hard. I'm not saying that Michael Morris, Donnie Glover, and Juan Gaston do not play hard. I'm just saying it's very obvious to me that those 3 players I just talked about play harder. Do you agree? You're in here almost every film study.
Well, I was going to say it makes sense. I mean, those 3 guys.
They don't come off the field.
And also, like, those are 3 veterans. Well, at least Monroe and Ernest, like especially Ernest. I mean, that guy's been on this team for a long time. Like, yeah, it makes sense that means something to those guys.
It's really fun to watch, man. It's really fun to watch those 3 football players play as hard and as consistently good as they are. I'm glad to see Ernest playing good, healthy, clean, aggressive football. He does still have thunder in his hands. I wish he'd run his feet and stay connected a little bit longer, but it's hard to stay connected when I throw my hands and you fall back 3 yards and you're still on your feet and now you run around me. You know what I'm saying? That happens to Ernest more than – I just wish we'd throw that guy up off his feet, run our feet, and then go finish on top of him. And then we got a highlight going on. That's what the high school tape looked like. The college tape looks like, bow, just punch that guy in his face, and now the dude's doing this one and then running around us. So let's keep our feet engaged and go finish. And I think we'll have, first round or, top 3 round highlights. I don't know if our measurements will ever make us that, but our tape is good enough to be that. This is the last note I have, I think, on this offense. Yeah. And it's the most important one. I think 14 is the toughest quarterback you've ever had, and he's venturing on toughest quarterback I've ever studied.
Dude, I didn't realize how hard he got hit on that.
Until you saw that video?
On that Noah Thomas touchdown.
Yeah.
He got –
Dude, there's 5 of those a game where he gets cartoonishly blown up.
He gets ragdolled, dude.
I'm telling you.
Like, it's not
it's laughable, but it's not funny. It hurts.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
And he just, heck, let's go play the next play.
It's funny, but it's not. It's funny to me in the regard of it looks like he's standing in the vicinity of a grenade explosion. Anytime he throws, like, he's just.
You play Battlefield?
No.
It's like when you get shot with a sniper on top of a rooftop. You just whole body gets blown up all over the place.
And the crazier part to me is, like, he's been in every post-game interview that I've been to for the games that I've attended. He just bebops in, like, he didn't just take 14 hits or however many hits it was during the games. Like, yep, ready to go on. Like, doesn't act in pain, not icing a shoulder.
Nope.
None of that stuff. He's just, all right, let's go. He is tough.
I'll go to war for that guy tomorrow.
I would die for Gunnar Stockton. I'll say I would die for Gunnar Stockton.
I mean, everyone on that team would.
Yeah, someone said today their player availability. I can't remember if it was KJ or maybe it was Oscar. I can't remember who it was, but one of them was asked about Gunnar and the type of leader that he is, and he said there's not a single person in that locker room that wouldn't put their life on the line for Gunnar Stockton. It's such a difference maker. It truly is to me.
People asking about LaDainian Guyton. It was a massive weekend, and we got time, so I'll talk about it now. It was a massive weekend for whether or not that's going to stick out there at Lubbock. From my understanding, from the sourcing that I have, LaDainian's gone out to Lubbock several times, but I don't think mom and the supporting cast and family had gone out to Lubbock. This weekend they did. So I don't know what the reviews on Lubbock, Texas from the Guyton family were this past weekend. Obviously, Texas Tech won, but it's more than that. It's whether or not you can see sending your kid out there for 3 years or however long you expect him to be there. In my opinion, this is my opinion. This is not what I've been told. In my opinion, I do not think that kid wants to play there. I think that kid wants to play at Georgia. But that's not what the ultimate end-all, be-all is nowadays in college football. I will also tell you this, that it ain't like there's going to be, you going to make $17 million over here and Georgia's only got $750,000 for you. There's not some massive, drastic difference. I think when the money arrives is slightly different, but I think we're talking about the difference between maybe being a $5 millionaire and being maybe a close to $3 millionaire. And I think there's a chance that Georgia wins out there. I also think there is a real possibility that Georgia is watching what's happening right now to their defense and the fact that they don't have anybody that can get home right now. And this is a football player that can get home right now. It might make them be a little bit more willing to play ball. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
All right.
Definitely something to pay attention to.
Definitely. Especially as I still don't know how this reclassing thing's happening, by the way. I have no idea. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the kid has to leave Benedictine to go take summer school classes somewhere because they don't allow that at a military academy. I have no idea how Texas Tech is going to swing this early enrollee. I have no idea. So there's that. All right. What else do we have? We got
some game balls to
We got
hand
game
out.
balls to award. Who gets the offensive game ball, boys? I got several options.
Yeah.
I'm going to give mine to a
Do
trio.
we want to go ahead and get the obvious one out of the way?
Yeah, Nate Frazier.
Nate Frazier gets the game ball, in my opinion. When's the last time a running back has rushed for 175 yards in a game?
Last time he had 180 was 2019 DeAndre Swift, I believe.
Kentucky?
It had to have been that game.
Probably, dude. Monsoon. You want to talk about a nasty game. So, no.
No, that was the home game, so it wasn't that one. He had 185 at Kentucky.
It was either 2018 or 2019 was the last. It was DeAndre Swift.
19
the last
was
one.
the Kentucky home game. 18 would have
Yeah.
been the road game. I only know this because I got married and was on my honeymoon
Yeah.
during Kentucky.
Both were games that DeAndre Swift took over. So,
Yeah.
But no, Nate Frazier definitely deserves one. I think that Noah Thomas, for showing that yards after catch ability and finally kind of getting that, okay, this is what an exposition for Noah Thomas will look like, where it's different from Colby Young, but still has it's more explosive. So I have Noah Thomas as mine as well.
Yeah, I think Nate Frazier, Noah Thomas, Gunnar had another incredible game for himself this past weekend as well. Offensive line collectively. Elias Williams deserves one in my opinion. That's a true freshman that had to step up a little bit more maybe than you even anticipated.
No love for the Delp, man. No love for Oscar Delp out here.
I'm trying to save you somebody.
My bad. Oscar Delp should have gotten a shot a little bit earlier. I'm giving my game ball to a trio. Monroe Freeling, Drew Bobo, Ernest Green. Just that three-headed trilogy of solidified, consistent play and winnable, high-level play from those three football
Have we
players.
reached a point where Monroe Freeling's underrated by the national media?
Yeah.
Because people
I don't know what they're waiting on that one. Like, how often? Because Jonathan, this isn't like an off the wall. It's a pedigree kid. It's a 5-star football player coming out of high school that is 6'7", 330 pounds, has a pedigree and a background in yoga, so you know the flexibility is there, and he's played great in the 18 starts that he had an arm. You know what I mean? He had both arms.
And I say that too because when people go back and watch Georgia's offensive line play every weekend, they love watching Donnie Glover, rightfully so. They love watching Juan Gaston, rightfully so. Micah Morris has some flash plays. It never seems like people are saying, "Oh, look at what Monroe Freeling is doing right now." Yeah, maybe he's not putting someone on their face every play, but that guy is playing the cleanest tackle play right now, maybe in the entire conference.
When a Georgia source told me this offseason they thought Joe Alt was reasonable, I thought they were high. And now I'm like, nah, that's equate Joe Alt. That's Joe Alt without the PR.
Yeah, Monroe Freeling deserves so much love and needs to be talked about as one of these upper-tier tackles in this next draft class.
I mean, we know what the reason is, right? It's because consistent, reliable play at the tackle position doesn't make the headlines. It doesn't get like there are people walking around today that believe Caden Proctor is the best tackle in college football because he gets handoffs every now and then.
Hit you a Google for a draft right now, mock draft. I guarantee you Caden Proctor's in the first round.
Because
guaranteed.
They throw him the football. He must be. Oh my!
Look at this athlete.
We also need to run down the track record of success rates of tackles leaving Alabama. It's not great. It's not
the Raiders did a couple of drafts with that.
It's not good. Tyler Booker is the only success story,
that team,
and he's an interior guard. Like, there's not a lot of long-term success. Evan Neal flamed out. Your buddy Leatherwood was not good.
From the Draft Network.
From the Draft Network.
From the Draft Network.
The Draft Network.
18th overall, Caden Proctor.
Love to see it. No Monroe Freeling mentioned.
The future of the 49ers left tackle position is uncertain.
Oh, yes. Let's go from Trent Williams to Caden Proctor.
After some major struggles against Florida State to open the season, Caden Proctor has turned things around and looks like the surefire first-rounder he was projected to be.
Now, wait. Is this not good for Georgia?
What do you mean? Oh, no, it's tremendous. We were talking about this on the way home. They are going to be in the portal for a tackle if Monroe Freeling leaves. I hope y'all know this. If this kid plays his way into a top 64 pick, you're going into the next year going, all right, Juan Gaston's one of our tackles. Who's the other one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The portal is who the other one is. So, yeah, I think you're in a situation now where you're going to have to give Monroe Freeling $800,000 to keep him out of the draft.
I will welcome Monroe Freeling back with open arms.
Open arms.
But
come on, Monroe.
If you're a top 60 player in the NFL draft, you better go.
Yeah,
you better go take that money.
So, but I'm not gonna. Let's keep the Monroe needs to be rated higher on the draft.
Yeah, he's all right. I would take 10 Caden Proctors before I take one Monroe Freeling.
Caden Proctor's way better.
Monroe, you know what? Monroe Freeling's playing bad ball.
You know what I think Monroe Freeling...
Don't even watch number 57 for Georgia.
I think if Monroe Freeling came back for another year and really was able to solidify his draft stock, that would be really good for him.
It'd be tremendous. Maybe it'd make him a $100 millionaire.
Yeah. I think
because being drafted 32 overall, that's nice. Being drafted 18 overall, that's even better.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Absolutely.
Bo Hewley, put some respect on his name.
Oh, Bo Hewley played good against Tennessee.
Winnable football.
Yeah.
It's not Monroe Freeling football.
Michael Unai, just still a little raw right now. Hey, I'm just saying, like, those are your options. I wouldn't look. I think it might have been.
Guys,
come on, dog.
Come on, dog.
It's pronounced Uni, by the way, guys.
Michael Uni almost got Gunnar Stockton killed.
I know. I think I may have been the only one paying attention to this, though. So in the fourth quarter of the Georgia-Mississippi State game,
an ass chewing?
I'm not going to. I'm going to talk about the coach.
Go for it.
Stacey Searles, I noticed, is standing at the first down marker. And you have to remember, it's fourth quarter, so backup offensive linemen are in. Like every single starter has been pulled up to this point. And they run a play. I think it's a run play. It goes for like 6 yards. and Michael Unai comes in to sub in for somebody. I'm not even going to tell you who the player was. And that player walks by Stacey Searles, and I don't know what he said, but I see this motion, so I'm assuming what Stacey Searles was saying was, "You're done. Go stand on the sidelines. You're done." And that player walked behind Stacey Searles and stood behind him for the remainder of the game.
He didn't come back in.
So we talk about Kirby Smart coaching for all 4 quarters. We talk about Stacey Searles was having that FBE in the 4th quarter, coaching up those young offensive linemen. I just thought that was a cool thing to see.
Damn Matt Luke.
Yeah.
Shane Beamer caught a random stray in the local hour. Matt Luke catching a stray in the local hour.
The strays in this show have been kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, it's rearing its ugly head right about now.
Yeah. No,
So,
it's
Chat's already figured it out. Should we give our thoughts on Starkville? We still got hella game balls to give. I thought 10 flashed, obviously, offensively. Elias Williams, you
also
gave him
got
a
to
shot.
preview Texas.
Defensively, I think there's only one real answer here. I thought he had his best game of the year, and you needed it bad. It's KJ Bolden.
KJ Bolden definitely deserves a game ball here. I want to give a shout out to Raylan Wilson too, because we've seen him play really good inside the box for the majority of the season. He's had some great flashes there. J-Will, I saw that look at him. I'm not even going to acknowledge it.
Well, I did do nothing.
I felt like in the passing game in particular, in the pass rushing game, that was Raylan Wilson's best performance. I think he finished with 1.5 sacks, had a pass deflection, was consistently clouding up zones, making life hard for that, whether it was Mississippi State's or whatever Mississippi State quarterback was in the game. Very, very strong performance from Raylan Wilson.
I put this in my reactions to the game, and I'll bring it up in the defensive game ball section, where I felt like there were several players on Saturday that either, one, deserved to have the game that they had on Saturday or needed to have the game that they did on Saturday. Names that would apply to that are Noah Thomas, needed to have a big day. You got that from him. Nate Frazier deserved to have a big day last Saturday. Quintavious Johnson deserved to have a big day on Saturday for how he's been playing. Raylan Wilson deserved to have a big day for how he's been playing this year. KJ Bolden needed to have a big day on Saturday, and he absolutely did. Dang near got kicked out of the football game again, but got to finish it out, and he played well. So I had KJ, Raylan, and Quintavious as my defensive game
Why
balls.
was last week a targeting and that wasn't?
I don't know. I never saw a replay of it.
It was head down. It was crown of the helmet.
Maybe
it was less defenseless player.
but the only thing I could do,
made a
it was a
football
ball
move.
carrier against a wide receiver in the week prior to where
It was much more of a bang-bang play against Florida.
mm-hmm.
And where, as if this ball carrier had 2 or 3 steps before the contact point.
He was not a defenseless player.
No,
by
he
any
was
means.
not. So I guess that was the difference.
But it very easily.
It's forceful contact to the head or neck area or a defenseless a ball carrier, right?
Correct.
Okay. So he had forceful contact with his head or neck, but not to the head or neck.
That's
So
right.
I guess he's
That's
cool.
right.
I guess he's all right.
I mean, again, I think.
But the freeze frame was textbook. That's the body positioning we're trying to avoid.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, the hit on Justin Fields in the playoff in 2019, I still don't understand how that was a targeting. Where he gets a helmet to his midsection.
yeah.
But it was like,
Yeah.
because you led with your helmet, it's a targeting. So I thought that KJ could have very easily been. But we go to this.
The Skowski one, was that Skowski?
Skowski, yeah.
The Skowski one was. That's the perpetrator's history, probably.
Agreed.
That's like Vontez Burfict college version.
But no,
Skowski was Mr. Targeting.
Yes, he was.
But no,
Him and
dude,
Smoke Monday.
Yeah, Smoke Monday's another one.
Smoke Monday's just got one.
And the perfect name for it, too.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was going to get ejected.
You go
for
get
sure.
Smoke on Saturday.
But to go back to something you've said throughout the season, don't put that in the hands of the ref.
Ever.
Don't even make that an
Ever.
opportunity to where you got to go 50-50 between what the ref
Especially
chooses.
that early against that opponent. Where it's
Also,
like, ooh.
if we're going to aim that low with our head, just leave your feet.
Yeah.
Just bite his ankles, bite his knees, do whatever. Don't get into that one. We get into this one, and that's bad body position. Scary. More protective of your future, man. Like, we can't be doing that. So yeah, that's a good point. 33 weekly shout out on the game balls. Quintavious Johnson's insane.
Yeah.
That kid has played such good football. Kirby talked about it today. He was kind of thrown into the fire there. You know, he said he didn't mention him by name, but Damon Wilson leaving this roster is why Quintavious Johnson's playing as much as he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing great ball. That forced fumble is just an effort play. It's just me pursuing the ball till the echo of the whistle and punching it out. I thought Zayden Walker flashed.
Yeah, it was good to see him on the field.
Yeah.
Dinkins got some play.
That kid is so big.
Mm-hmm.
Zayden is he's got to be 230.
Still some of the
232.
most fun high school tape I've ever watched.
Schlock
That
County,
is
baby.
electric. I remember watching.
That's some of the most fun in-person scouting I've done because you just feel like you're watching a superhuman play Timmy and Tyler at practice. So, yeah, that was funny. I remember getting text messages from people. I was tweeting out videos of him playing inside linebacker. And it was his first day at practice playing inside linebacker the day that I was down there. And I'd gotten multiple texts from SEC coaches that were recruiting him at the time. And they were like, wait a minute. Is he playing off ball? I'm like, yeah. It was like, I was there 24 hours ago, and he was playing stand-up rush. Dude, he made every play that day as an off-ball linebacker. Perfect read, shedding blocks. Dude, just naturally gifted football player. He's a naturally gifted rusher, too. That's why he got in on Saturday. Special teams, I thought there was one answer.
Kirk Benedict.
Nope.
I just said Peyton Woodring.
Come on, guys. Y'all might have been on your walk down. Zacoby White.
Scobie White did have a
That punt
yeah.
return, man.
Scobie White did have a fantastic punt return.
I'm so glad.
shout.
I hope that kid stays locked in. There's so much for you next year, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much for you here.
You are next year's Zachariah Branch.
Honestly, like, he's not going to be a pull-away guy. He's not a 10-400-meter guy. It's not what he is. But he is so special with the ball in his hand, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's an electric playmaker that is a football player.
Yeah.
That guy just makes play. He just makes plays.
But no, shout out to Kirk Benedict for
Stealing Notre Dame's play.
putting Jeff Lebby and crew in an absolute spin cycle to gain free 5 yards and extend the drive.
Banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, I laugh every time it happens because it still happens. I don't understand
The
it.
fact that they made them burn a timeout and they're like, watch this, we're going to do this shit again.
Like, oh no.
I mean, we already let the world know that we got this in our bag. Let's do it twice.
That was the funny part. I thought at first it was like, all right, they're doing this clearly to let Jeff Lebby burn a timeout so that they'll have less time for when they do 2 minute. And then they ran out and did the same exact thing. I was like, this is fantastic.
I can't believe it.
I can't either.
2 weeks in a row. Florida jumped off sides last week.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going. When was the last time he went midfield, 4th and 3?
Probably in the Bama game last year when you had to.
Fake punt, Texas, when the game didn't matter.
There was a time this
That
year.
was a 4th and 5 and you're on 25.
There was a
Yeah.
time this year where they went for it near the midfield because I was like, oh, there's no way they're going for this one. They actually did, and they picked it up. I can't remember what game it was.
Huh.
It wasn't. Never mind.
What?
No, it was from the one loss that Georgia's had this year.
Oh, tough. All right, let's get to our thoughts on Starkville. Because I felt like
Do we want to do that and then preview Texas real quick? Or
I think we should save the preview
Okay.
for Texas.
I think we need to get the preview for Texas. Oh, wait. What is our sub-episode schedule tomorrow? We have Paul Feinbaum upload, and then we have the preview for
National Hour?
Bama,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do that. And then, so yeah, we can do sub-episode Wednesday morning for this.
Okay, so
So
then
we'll
just
save Texas preview for
All right,
tomorrow.
well then let's talk about Starkville then.
Yeah, man, I had a damn good time. I thought Friday was insane.
Friday was great. Friday, so
Guys, we went to a – sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good.
We went to a alumni baseball game where none of the current players were playing. There was a 49-year-old playing second base that had not played any meaningful baseball since 2003, we looked up. There were 16,000 people there.
Yeah, when we went, it was standing room only. It was packed.
It was D to A.
And that baseball stadium, Mississippi State's that is nicer than most minor league baseball stadiums you will ever come across. I'll
Yes.
put it that way.
I thought the best – I've been to like 12 minor league baseball stadiums. The best minor league baseball stadium I've ever been to, I don't even know if they're still around, is the Chattanooga Lookouts.
Oh, yeah, they're still around.
This cleared. Absolutely cleared. I've been to a Stripers game.
Yeah.
Cleared.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely cleared. This was insane for a nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
Not like Hunter Renfroe.
It was
Come out here and see Hunter Renfroe?
Yeah.
That's it. 16,000 people.
It was
insane.
insane. I was glad that we went over there.
But
because
it wasn't just that environment. Campus itself of Mississippi State is beautiful. They've got amenities everywhere. It's very open. The buildings look
looks
new.
brand
It's
new.
I think the state of Mississippi gets a bad rap, and things outside of campus
it
understandable. That's understandable. Starkville, Mississippi, and that campus was gorgeous.
Just a random thought for whoever runs Mississippi. Just a cell tower or two. God forbid you run out of gas in that
And
place.
please, maybe pave some roads.
And you know what? Just give me some service in case I get a flat tire when the inevitable flat tire happens because the roads are terrible. Just something. I mean, my God. The city of Starkville, beautiful. I enjoy it nowadays going out there more than I even do Oxford, especially because I'm not a drinker anymore. Like Oxford is go get hammered.
that was
That's
going to
cool.
be my thing is I think Starkville is way better than Oxford, at least in my opinion.
The food, it's awesome.
The
We didn't
good
have a
food
bad meal
market.
out there.
Oh, the good food market out there in Starkville.
Whew.
Good meal right there.
Mm-hmm.
I was just disappointed we didn't get to try out the Chinese buffet attached to the motel.
Oh, God.
Hey, motel, not bad either. Now, that's the other thing about Starkville. Look, Kenny Dillingham got a lot of shit undeservedly. He's right.
Oh, he's right.
There ain't a damn place to stay out there. Not a one. There is a Marriott, a standard ops Marriott, by the way. Just a regular old Marriott. They tried to charge me $600 for staying in Starkville.
Because they can.
We had to stay in Houston, Mississippi, probably pronounced Houston. We had to stay out in Houston, Mississippi in a motel. And we were still 50 minutes from the school.
That's all that was out there.
And you know what? People were like, should have stayed in Tupelo. Tupelo's 90 minutes from the school.
Yeah. There was a urgent care, a Walmart, and a gas station next to the motel that we stayed at. I mean, it slept good. It did the job.
And a rehab center.
Oh, yeah, and a rehab center. So, had all the amenities that you needed right there.
The floor is very nice for my air mattress. No complaints there on that.
Ain't no complaints. We did find a stink bug in the bed.
Yeah, there was a stink bug in my bed. That was a little terrifying.
Oh,
to see.
and one towel for the three of us.
And one
Yeah,
towel
dude.
for a
One towel for
two-bedroom.
the three of us.
Had to dry off with the floor mat. That it was not on the floor when I used it. It was folded up over the edge of the tub. And I was like,
Somebody in the chat said, brother, we were at a murder.
That's Schofield.
Well, it said Schofield. Said, brother, we were at a murder shack that called itself a Days Inn. Oh, my God. Shout out to Schofield, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that guy wears a lot of hats, but the ability for him to always get us in the right spot.
if all else fails for him, a
Travel
travel
agent?
agent
Yeah.
is the perfect career for him.
And not only would he work as a great travel agent, he's also head security and just never have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Just collecting intel everywhere he goes.
Just a badass dude and a great dude.
Yeah, great badass dude. Love that.
That's the best way you can describe him.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I enjoyed the trip to Starkville a little bit more than I thought I would.
The resounding state, though.
Yeah, I mean,
The state is as advertised.
Look, I mean, West Alabama not much better.
No,
You know.
no.
Yeah,
And look, there's some parts of Georgia that are like, oh, where am I?
South
Oh.
Georgia.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the entire state of Mississippi is South Georgia,
Yeah.
Correct.
but with lesser than roads.
Yeah,
Because you ain't gonna run up on a road
and not
like
a
that here to Peach State.
freaking light for anything.
Oh, we got side of the road robbed out there too. Paid $3.71 for a tank or for a gallon of gas.
Well, that was supply and demand.
That
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
I mean, we were stranded with 18 miles to empty and
Can't, like-
17 miles to Starkville.
Can't let it go that low, man.
Can't. That's on me. But not a lot of options out there, big dog. So, all right, we're good. Y'all good? Hey, we'll be back tomorrow for another loaded show. Got film studies tomorrow. Hey, we'll be live tomorrow at 7. College football playoff rankings come out tomorrow at 7. So watch along with us as we will be giving you those reactions to those rankings as they come out live. So set your alarms, 7 o'clock tomorrow. Also 4:30 tomorrow on the Paul Feinbaum Show. Yours truly going to be breaking down them dogs. I asked him, I said, hey, Daniel, the producer, what you want? He said, I got to see them dogs. Them dogs been dominating. So we're going to talk them dogs tomorrow.